welcome to the ESL Southeast European Championship.
We gotta be honest though. I mean, at this point, it is a chance for Sinners to get.
How has he been able to just shift through like that? He's not going to
Oh!
He will, maybe another ace on the.
Oh, man!
4 kills, 1 player left.
Oh!
And then the ace.
And here comes the Bane with the double kill. And here comes the follow-up. And Jack is waiting to follow up there. And we see the triple kill come out. They're taking down Poppy. And they are continuing to push this one. You are going to want to get out of there. You don't want to die to that one. But there comes the Quadra. Are we going to see the Penta?
Well, as you can see, there's people being shot, and there's talking that's about to happen. I'm Extremes, joined by Prophecy as usual for ESL Southeast Europe Championship, and this is probably the first time we've casted it not on the Twitch channel. So
yeah, it's a bit of an interesting one. I'm not quite certain why I requested to cast on YouTube. Suppose it does give us better quality.
Not necessarily, because we're going to two YouTube channels at once, so not necessarily, but still should be okay. Anyway, what we are here to do is to do Primordial versus Toxic in ESL SEC Season 7, both teams making it through the qualifiers. And I recall covering both of these teams previously, and I know all the player names, and for the life of me, I can't remember the games.
Toxic qualified, well, their last qualification game was actually a 2-1 win over Neternity. And if I remember correctly, I think Steffa and Raf2 were the guys going absolutely ham. For Primordial, we cast them at certain points. I don't think we cast them. We casted like a BO1 of theirs, and then we sort of left them to their own devices, and they qualified by themselves.
Yeah, I do recall doing the BO1 with them. We definitely didn't do any of the playoff games to actually make it into the championship, but still, that being said, I do recall them being fairly impressive when we watched them. In terms of the players that they've got there, I remember saying Raf2's name a lot for some reason.
Yeah,
on Toxic and Primordial Lag Monster.
Yeah, I remember making jokes about Cusco. Emperor's New Groove. Cusco, let's go.
All of that stuff, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we should be ready to go pretty soon. We've got 9 players on the server, so we'll just be waiting for the last player to join before we get going. In the meantime, if you'd like to win yourself something nice from ESL, type ! Giveaway in chat, and you'll find out how to enter the Gleam giveaway to win a €100 voucher, 1 of 5. In fact, so that's quite generous.
Yeah, 5 €100 vouchers, not too shabby. And you could certainly buy yourself some nice swag, some awesome swag, should I say?
What would you buy with it, Prof?
Probably just a whole bunch of pins, to be honest, or a bunch of like small parts for teams, you know, like caps and stuff.
You're trying to do an Anders, are you?
Not really. I think Anders has got the whole badge thing down. He wants to be the admiral or the general. We don't really know what he's decided to be. He is, of course, the leader of the simulation these days.
This is true. So
I don't know, man. I think I'd just go for the pins, eh? Pins
Sure,
or caps.
okay.
So that would be the easiest.
I'd go for shirts, man. I like shirts, but
Yeah,
hey,
it's because you'd only get like 1 or maybe 2
exactly
shirts
one.
at most.
Yeah. So talking about the map choices, not that there are choices, of course, it's 4 bans and then what's remaining. But Toxic taking cash, we got Overpass for Primordial, and then the deciders on Nuke.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the way Primordial's banning, it's actually interesting that they're banning the more, I mean, the term I suppose would be puggy, but the more free-form maps. Mirage does too, whereas Toxic is banning maps that are slightly more tactical in Inferno and Cash. So, sorry, Inferno and Train. So Toxic gets themselves Cash. Primordial chooses obviously to play Overpass first, and that leaves everybody's least favorite map, Nuke, as the third. So just a bit of an interesting difference in styles there. You can clearly see one team is not all that keen on playing maps that allow skill to be dominant.
Clearly so. I heard a message sound. What on earth?
Yeah, so did I.
Did you hear that too? Okay, so it wasn't us. It's actually coming through the feed then. Sorry about that, guys. It is actually coming through the feed as opposed to being on our side. So don't know why, but it's there. Talking about the championship itself, if you manage to come in first place at the end of all of the games throughout June, it's €2,500, which does actually sound rather nice. I could do with €2,500.
I think many people could do with €2,500. To be perfectly honest, it is a healthy sum of money. Certainly, some you can buy a lot of cheeseburgers with that.
Jeez.
Spend a lot of time at McDonald's.
Because of your diet, are you finding yourself like craving things?
Dude,
is that why you're talking about buying a lot of cheeseburgers?
It's horrible. It's like you sit at home and then it's like it gets cold. Now, for those that don't know, South Africa is temperate climate. It's not like terribly cold. There are certain days you'll get it, but because I recently had to like just cut out some carbs, it's horrible. It's like your brain's just like, okay, we need junk food. I'm like, no. Brain's like, no, but I need junk food. Like, no. No, but I really need junk food. It's like, no.
So again,
And
couldn't you buy a lot of healthy food with 2,500 euros if you finished first?
you
in
could,
SEC
but it wouldn't
Season 7?
taste as good as junk food, to be honest. Let's be real about this.
This is also true.
It wouldn't taste like victory.
No, no, it really wouldn't taste like victory. Victory's got to be junk food and alcohol, right?
Yes.
So the prize distribution actually is 2,500 euros for first place. Second place is 1,500, and third is 600 and 400 for fourth place. So actually something to play for here. Definitely something to work towards. And it's all going to culminate in I think it's the 1st of July are the finals, if I recall correctly.
Yes, I do believe so. I'm not 100% certain where, but I do believe it is the 1st of July.
Okay. Well, see where we're at with the game. It looks like everybody is here. For some reason, we're dropping some frames. That hasn't happened in a year, I think, on this channel. So I don't know why that is, but hey,
Breaking new ground.
breaking new ground indeed. I do apologize for that, guys. I don't know why it may be doing it. I hope it's not noticeable. If it is, my sincerest apologies. But hey, we'll see what we can do. We're just about to get going now. Everybody's on the server, so Primordial versus Toxic should be underway anytime now. I can hear the ready up sounds happening, so hopefully we'll get going pretty soon. Do you recall when we last covered Toxic? Do you remember those games?
Like I said, the last game I remember casting Toxic was their qualification for. Just give me half a second. It was against Eternity. It was a 2-1 win. They won on Cash, Mirage, and they won on Cash, lost on Mirage, and then won on Dust 2. But I don't remember that game. I think these are just two teams that we happened to miss. You know, I mean, we didn't cast every single qualifier. So, well, we cast every qualifier, but not each team that qualified as such. I think Primordial and Toxic, we might have caught them in a best of 1, but missed them in that best of 3 section. So we got the stabby going on. The
knife round
the
going on.
jousting.
Not too much to report there, of course. It's just a knife round. So, I'm sure we'll... sorry, I'm getting a little distracted trying to fix a couple of production issues. Do apologize, guys. But hopefully I can get my words out. I'm going to try to get my words out tonight. Primordial versus Toxic ESL SEC Season 7. And this is actually the 3rd time we're covering games throughout the regular season. There were, of course, 4 qualifier Sundays. But it's called Play Day 1 because this game was actually supposed to be played on the first day.
No, it's not. It was meant to be played today.
Okay, I got that wrong then.
It's they pair like 2 days together for some reason. So it's like Tuesday and Saturday. This past Tuesday and today are Play Day 1. The past Wednesday and next week Tuesday are Play Day 2. Don't ask me why. It just is. And what is also going on is Toxic is basically hitting the A side. Primordial holding in the fairly traditional as of right now a retake, and they'll be moving in. They don't really have much utility. They got a smoke and a kit as Sava pushes through the back lines. And okay, not
That's
quite certain why there was a transition, but it looked cool.
It looked
Either way,
great.
Sava has got the first kill.
That flash just wrecking everybody there. Everybody's flashed. Everybody's dead. Not a single kill coming in for Primordial. That flash coming from, I think it was out of the site actually, just allowed them to peek them en masse there towards Cat and Car. And, well, carnage ensued.
Yeah, Toxic doesn't even lose a player. Primordial sort of running directly into the charging bull that was Toxic there, and just getting overrun. So Primordial starting off, I mean, that was not a good look on the A retake. Got set up and the Toxic just absolutely mullering them.
So Toxic from Hungary, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
Based
No,
on the
Bulgaria.
flag. Bulgaria. Okay. Sorry, it's the other way around, isn't it, for Hungary? I do apologize.
Yes.
It is Bulgaria, and well, we've seen a lot of Bulgarian teams actually in the qualifiers stage. In fact, there were some that we saw multiple times because they kept signing up every week, which is fair enough. Of course, you do want to try to go through if you can. Sava going through the vents there and getting himself a headshot. But there is a kill at least for the CTs to make it a 4v4 and an AK recovered.
Yeah, and that's the perfect start for Primordial here, as they desperately needed some level of upgrade. Quake does have armor. Stefa and Sava are going to account for Felix, though. Toxic, well, they're about to hit the A site, or are they? They've actually got a very long rotate coming in. Primordial they themselves aren't really in the best of positions, but it looks like Toxic are done with planting bombs. They just want to get kills. As Stefan now getting 2 nice long-range spray downs. Last remaining player is Ozek. He is going to get RAF too, though, and that is an AK saved. He's going to hightail it out of there. And Primordial, well, didn't start off too well, and certainly not going to end too well, but somewhere in the middle they've gotten themselves an AK.
Can always do with a free AK, of course, going into your buy round potentially, but it'll have to live for a really long time to make it there. Still on 11 HP, getting a kill. Not a bad effort. And he gets another one as well, actually. They're just gifting these to him at this point. Maybe Savage just needs to hang on to his AK.
Yeah, I mean, if Toxic wasn't... if the bomb hadn't been planted, Ozek might have actually been in with a cheeky attempt at being able to plant the bomb there. Either way, Toxic has made this round incredibly expensive for themselves. But they will still win it.
Does seem so. So 2-0 there for Toxic. Good start for them. And for Primordial, they didn't really accomplish too much in the pistol round, but doing a fair bit more damage there thanks to Ozek. He's on 3 kills, and, well, that's a lot more than the rest of the team put together.
Yeah, unfortunately, them Primordial not getting a single kill on the pistol really didn't look too good. Either way, Toxic are going to be doing some agriculture, farming pretty damn well, and hopefully they got a couple of cash crops waiting for them.
You'd be hoping so. There's also, of course, the AK that could potentially sting should it be challenged, but I do think for Toxic they'll probably try to stick together here rather than taking too much in the way of one-up duels. Bomb is down as well because of the stack, of course, and stack turns out to be the wrong bomb site. There's still a kill, though, that comes in for Cusco, but that's looking like more or less all they'll get.
Yeah, Duplicate trying to buffer his economy as he's looking for a couple of kills here. Gonna get another one there with the help of Duplicate, and Blink has decided he's had enough of this nonsense. No time wasted, and they will get all 5 kills, but they've cost themselves 2 again. It is only the SMG, so it's not the end of the world, but it is still going to keep a little bit of a cap on the economy.
That'll keep a lid on it, of course. We do see the buy coming in for Primordial now, so they'll have the AWP available, a bunch of utility to work with as well. So Toxic will need a look to push past this, but they've certainly got the economy after the early rounds to do it to a degree, but they were, of course, kept in check with that second round. So actually be interested to see where their money is actually at if they lose this. They should still be able to buy, but maybe it's not as rosy as I think.
No, I think they'll be on very, very low. It should be on at least 2 players at the if they do lose this. Lager Monster, though, and Felix. Well, Lager Monster at the very least is parking out on the A side. Cusco was the one spamming through the door, and he's going to land a lovely shot there on Duplicate as Primordial finally open a round with a kill of their own.
Yeah, finally getting an opening kill here. I think that's the first time it's happened so far. For Toxic, still fairly well placed here, but time is a wasting, of course, and they don't have a ton of map control. If the B side players decide to push off, they could get a ton of information here and potentially isolate Toxic. It doesn't seem like Primordial necessarily want to go that route, though.
No, they don't. Toxic sort of just loitering around the A side like a couple of bums, not doing a whole lot of anything. As now it does seem as though they're going to make the A call. Primordial on the instant rotate, tons of utility coming out. Raft, though, is going to be blind. Does he get the kill? He does indeed, but traded out almost instantly. Cusco somehow snuck into that squeaky door, and that's going to cost Toxic big time as they are not prepared for that situation. 2 versus 4 now.
Oh, being spotted there and somehow getting killed. I don't even know how he hit that shot through the wall there, but there it is. Lager Monster rounding it out as well. 1 here for Primordial. And finally on the board, and they're also going to keep a lot of weaponry alive, which is absolutely crucial for the economy. The buy will come out for Toxic, but as I said, not looking as good as I'd maybe have hoped for their sake.
Yeah, going to be really low on utility outside of Duplicate, who's got himself a pocket AK in that CZ. Primordial, though, will be very happy. They actually recovered 3 AKs in that last round, just to give you an indication of how dominant they were. So, Toxic, if they can get the kill here, I still think Primordial maybe he's out to buy in the next round, but Toxic still, at this stage, a fairly deadly combination with those 4 AKs.
Does seem so. A little bit of damage exchange just thanks to the nades, but nothing too much more, and very passive out of both sides here, actually. There's, of course, mid-control happening, but not being challenged at all. And as I say that, there may be a little bit of an aim duel going on, not quite seeing it at the moment. There we go. Walks.
Toxic has taken... Ooh. Sorry. I was just going to say Toxic has take quite a bit of damage, so well within range of the M4 as well. Or Zegnar does get caught out.
Yeah, Steph looking for that kill and somehow finds it actually on 3 HP. I thought he was goner, but gets the kill nonetheless. And it looks like Toxic are in the site, which I don't think I'd necessarily have thought considering the early kill going the way of Primordial. But the bomb is down. It is retake time, and there's one player that's low here. It's just that AWP might be somewhat of a liability here. They need to use their nades smartly. But this could undo it, and actually he gets the kill. Steffa goes down to Felix. I was going to say that could be the action that blows it open, but I'm wrong. Sava with the spray, putting him down nicely in the end. And Toxic, they strike back immediately. They reset the economy of Primordial, and that's rather a disaster for the Greek team.
Yeah, that was just very interesting to see that Primordial didn't actually contest mid at all. It's an extremely unusual CT setup. Generally, you'll always at least have one player spotting just to prevent that kind of thing, because Toxic just overloaded the middle area, peaked with 2 players pushing up mid, started pushing up highway, and all of a sudden Primordial didn't really have anything. Bomb sites were split, they couldn't help each other out, and Primordial just got pinched basically. So a very interesting and rather odd, to be fair, setup there from Primordial, and they've done it again. They just clearly do not care about controlling mid.
Yeah, clearly not too worried about it at all. And the buy from Primordial as well, they've invested a little bit here, but not nearly as much as some teams might look to do. I guess maybe trying to do the single save instead of the double. I mean, some of the players had enough money for that, but I don't think the whole team did.
No, they didn't. I mean, either way, it would have been a double save. I think Lager Monster and maybe Felix were on 3,700, but given how expensive the CT side is, that's still not enough. I mean, you get maybe one player to about 3,800, 3,900, and a couple of others also in that region, but still, Primordial not looking great in terms of the cash. As Toxic is about to hit the site, they did spot that boosted player. Kuzco will go down there, and Toxic will overrun the site. It's going to be a double setup for RAF2, just quick tap, and that's the end of that. Lager Monster feeling like he was lucky, and then Blink steals the joy from his hands.
Yeah, RAF2 should have probably gone down there, but he doesn't. Toxic are going to be on 5 here, and well, I think the flash usage there towards the A site was really pretty much perfect, and inch perfect shooting as well from these players. Just the headshots flying in from Toxic.
Yeah, Steffa and RAF2 really putting on a clinic there in terms of one taps. But Toxic in general looking pretty damn good here in the early rounds. Primordial with this weird setup where they basically stack 3 in A and 2 in B is really, it's not doing it for me, man. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I just think it completely cripples them whenever Toxic will start abusing it. Toxic hasn't actually done a lot of anything in mid, but as soon as they figure out that Primordial's doing nothing, I mean, that's just freak map control for days. You can sneak through mid there, and this time Primordial's going to try to take a fight, but that's definitely not going to work out. RAF2 continues his death-dealing ways as he picks up a third, and once again, just lovely shooting there from RAF2.
Absolutely wrecking him. Now I remember why we said RAF2's name so much last time we covered these teams. This guy's a monster.
Yeah, doing Apex level entry work at the moment is Toxic. Well, they're on the hunt for kills. Are they going to spot a player? Could be a rather devious setup here with one player sitting in CT spawn, but Toxic has money to burn. And Felix is going to get himself Blink, but that's going to give up the positions of the second player. And Steffa, we mentioned him, is executioner extraordinaire and grabs another one.
Yep, they seem to be pretty convinced of where this player is as well. Felix probably not going to be around for much longer, and he will go down. Toxic just at a canter at the moment. Primordial should have the bye in the next round, but you know, giving up 7 so early, that can't be healthy.
No, it really can't be. And Primordial, I don't agree with that buy in the second round there, where they sort of forced up before they had full utility. It's just allowing Toxic so much space, especially because again they aren't controlling mid, so you don't get any early information. It just allows Toxic to take aim duels with favored weaponry, and there's not a whole lot Primordial can do at this point. I mean, look how much space Steffa is getting before Primordial even knows where he is.
He's just getting out there and getting in their faces. Wow, how could how do you get that far out without even being detected? That doesn't make any sense.
Makes none at all. And Primordial this round stacking B, but it's all the same to Toxic. I don't even think they've gone B except for, what, the second round? That's it. Primordial at this stage, this default is just very, very odd. I'm not a big fan of this default, and it's clearly not working for them at all because Toxic is running away with this map. It's a save, so you know things are what they are, but still, it's not looking great for me.
Yeah, this is not the start you would have wanted if you're the Greek side at all. Bulgarians, though, for Toxic, well, they are poisoning them at the moment and putting them down. Setting out the poison arrows, it seems, because they're just moving to all the wrong spaces on the map. Maybe it's some of that Amazonian frog poison that messes with your mind.
Oh, the poison arrow frog, yeah. So I mean, Blink is the least wealthy Toxic player, and he has 4K before he bought, after he bought.
Oi, okay, so Felix in a good position here, and he actually gets the opening kill. Again, a rare opening kill for Primordial so far. But nobody from Toxic in a position to necessarily trade it off. Quaker now coming in with the AWP as well before Blink gets Felix through the door. Cusco might be under a bit of pressure if they decide to push here. Not quite sure yet whether they're necessarily going to force the issue just yet, considering they're obviously facing a numbers deficit, and we've seen that A site sometimes be stacked, but still, Toxic, I don't know, maybe even in a 3v4 they might still be feeling confident enough to just go for it.
Yeah, Toxic just buying a bit of information or buying time for Duplicate to unfortunately go down, but he at least had the right idea. Sava, though, lovely shot.
Gee, Sava with the savage headshot. Cusco now in a position to potentially shut this down, but he has given up his position, and that might prove to be difficult for him. Still gets the kill, though, Cusco. He is a king with the M4, as it turns out. And he gets it all, in fact, so that's finally another round here for Primordial, 2-7. And for Primordial, finally doing something, because it's felt like everything they've tried hasn't worked at all.
Yeah, and critically, Primordial keeps 3 players alive there, so they well within the limits of their buy in this round. They've got the double AWP still alive, and Toxic, well, as we said, they have money to burn, so Primordial at this stage will need to make absolutely certain they don't give away another round, especially not this one, because that will be a death knell for their hopes. It is a death knell for Sava in this round, as Felix brings him to ground.
Puts him in to the ground rather nicely, pushing up daisies, all those sorts of things. Quaker is going to put down Steph as well, and Raftu, Jesus, man with the headshots, he's so crisp with that AK.
That he is, and once again it's cut off part of the Primordial players because there's 3 players in the area. Felix, though, hitting some dirty flicks at the moment, gets himself Duplicate. Raftu and Blink, though, still in control of this general area. Felix decides he's got no time for your control, and he kills Raftu with some ease there.
Yeah, it does put him down after all, and Raftu is probably the lone hope for Toxic in this particular round. Blink does have the bomb, though, and he's trying to beat them to the site. The age-old, well, I'm going to run there and try and beat the cover defense, but Lagger Monster is here, and he's on headshot. In fact, he does land a headshot there through the wall. So that's going to be Blink on really low HP, and if he gets anything out of this, I'd be surprised.
As would I. Blink, though, has been looking pretty good thus far. Maybe not as potent as Raftu or Steffa, but certainly not a player to sleep on. He's going to try sneak in here at the moment. Looks like he's going the long way around, which is interesting. Generally, you try push the tree side, but Lagger Monster knows that he is covered, so he can watch that area. And Blink, cheeky, trying to get into the little rat hole, but he's going to go down here. Kozak on the angle.
Could have worked out for him had he managed to move past there in between the jiggle peaks, but probably not. Primordial, though, with another round, and that's actually the first time they've gotten back-to-back rounds in this game. I'm actually just glad to see they're here to play, because it has looked so far like Toxic might just stomp all over them.
Yeah, I mean, Primordial is a bit shaky on the money. They obviously don't want to be losing this round. I think it might put them back onto a save. So, Toxic well within a chance of turning things around here. That nade is going to land right at Ozek's feet, and he's going to just feed himself to Sava as a result of that. All of a sudden, Toxic back into that favored situation where they've got one early kill. Now, they're just going to rush out. It's actually going to cost them a life. That's Steph at 2k going down, and Cusco knows his angles through the smoke. He's going to get himself double but will be traded out, and all of a sudden Sava is coming in. He's got Raf2 for support, and those two are brutality incarnate for the moment.
Yeah, indeed, it has been rather brutal. Gets an orb kill while fully flashed, so timing it perfectly does Felix. And Sava, who's been so dangerous in this round, he's gone, and the other danger man gone too. Lager Monster takes down Raf2, and that will be Primordial getting 4. I didn't expect that, to be honest. After the turnaround, you got that early triple kill from Cusco, which was so good, but Toxic did some amazing work to bring it back into a 2v2.
Yeah, I mean, you got to also applaud Felix's ability to just time the shot correctly, even though he's flashed, to do damage in Toxic. This is, what, 4th round they're able to buy in a row now? You can see their money was perfectly fine. They might even be able to buy into the next one if they really want to force it up. Either way, they looking pretty damn healthy, to say the least, is Toxic. They've got 7 rounds already. Anything else past this is really just gravy.
Yeah, they're going to be feeling pretty happy about things so far, but still, if you think about what might have been, wasn't it 7-1 at one point?
Yeah, 7-1.
So Primordial still in a good spot here, I would think, to potentially turn things around. If they can win this round, looking at the Toxic economy, maybe they could actually snatch the half away, just on the off chance.
Yeah, maybe. I think Toxic probably does save after this round, even though they will be at max money loss. And Quake has lost everything, including his head there, as Steffa 2K has got the angle. Do they know about it? He's going to get the first kill. Does he get the second? He does indeed. And all of a sudden, as we said it, Primordial, well, now their decision time and decisions are already being made. It's save time.
Yeah, that's probably the good decision in this particular circumstance. You don't want to force the issue and lose all that weaponry and utility. It's kind of valuable on the CT side. T side, you can maybe get away with being a little bit overzealous from time to time and losing weapons because, of course, it's a little cheaper. CT side, however, not the greatest idea at all. For some reason, we're dropping a lot of frames at the moment. Still.
Sending to 2 different stream places, perhaps?
No, it's not that. There's something else going on. I really don't know what, but hopefully it does sort itself out. I do apologize for that, guys. In the meantime, we're still going out Primordial. Well, they got those 3 rounds in a row, and then they got wrecked by Toxic. And looking at the money here, they could buy around. It's just one player is going to be on pistol, so it looks like they'll go that route.
Yeah, a little bit light on the utility in some places. Quake is actually going to pick up the scout, just to make certain that he does get the full utility. And Primordial will be boosting into the vents early, just trying to take a little bit more control of mid. As Toxic, again, just fast map control at the moment, and they're going to be playing straight through the smoke. Steffa 2K does not care about your defense, and he's going to spot that play. He gets the first quick. A second fantastic shot from Steffa. That's 4 in 2 rounds now on the B side. He completely rules that, but Quaker, well, he's hunting deer, and he's going to use that scout hunter. Sorry, Raf2 though is hunting humans, and he grabbed himself Cusco.
A very nice find there for him. And this should be the bomb site completely in their control. There's no way the Primordial can even attempt this at this stage. They just need to save, and the problem for them saving here is that they won't be able to buy around these weapons. It's pretty much hanging on to these and hoping that they can do damage in the next round.
Yeah, hanging on to it indeed. As I mean, it's got to feel bad to save a scout in a full buy round. And okay, duplicate. I didn't even see that player.
Yeah,
did you see that player?
No, I really did not. That's a bit strange. Oh, geez, yeah, we are dropping frames like crazy for some reason. I do apologize, viewers. I don't know why that's happening. I don't know if it's a stream server issue or a data throughput issue. It does seem like my line is okay, so yeah. I guess these things happen. Can't really do anything about it, but we do appreciate you guys sticking with us anyway. If you do want to win yourself something cool while you are here, type exclamation mark giveaway in chat. You find out how to enter the Gleam giveaway to get one of 5 available €100 vouchers for the ESL store, so you can buy yourself something nice.
So something very, very nice. Even though nice is a terrible word. I remember an advert at the stage where a guy insults a lady for saying the word nice. Raf2 though, he's not doing nice, he's doing deadly, and that'll be Lager Monster pushing up daisies.
Pushing up daisies indeed, and more daisies coming out here. Felix goes down to Steffa. Just does feel like they're so crisp with these AKs. Cusco has looked good though, and wow, he's looking really good. He's dropping them.
That he is dropping them left, right, and center is Orzek through the middle with that kill on to duplicate there. And Sava and Blink 1 now have to win themselves a 2 versus 3. Positions are pretty solid, one on site, one under the vents. And they'll probably need to take Orzek as early as possible to give themselves the best chance.
In they go into the site to attempt this retake, and this is a really good retake attempt. In fact, nobody dies there for the CTs. Of course, Toxic have won the half pretty comprehensively, but Primordial, if they can get 6 here, they'd at least feel competitive going into their own T half.
Yeah, 6 should be decent. I mean, you could maybe get by with 5 if your T side is really, really beastly, but 6 to be safe, I think, would be the very least that Primordial can ask for.
Yeah, I think that would be okay. Still very nice buy here from Toxic. They got everything they could possibly want. And actually, so did Primordial. So we're going to see one of those rare rounds where it is actually pretty even when it comes to the equipment.
Yeah, especially because there's, what, 2 AKs on the side of Primordial. It's only the 2 M4s. As Felix is going to miss a shot. He's going to land the second. He does. He's not going to land the second kill, though. Raptor and Blink 1 starting things off well. Quaker trying to do as much damage as he can, but is forced off that angle.
Gonna hope to maybe land a nade on somebody's head, one would assume, based on how he's positioning himself. It's just a shame that the player he's nading isn't actually the low player. Though, if it had been Sava, he would have gone down. That would have helped. Still chipping away with them with the damage. The problem for the CTs, of course, is that they've been damaged just as much.
Yeah, packages being delivered by both teams at the moment in the forms of hand grenades, and Sava's delivering bullets to brains as Cusco goes down. Stefan now getting in on the action. Quaker also going to be brought down. Orzek trying to fight his way through what is almost certainly the Valley of Death, and the Valley gets the better of him.
Yeah, certainly. 10-5 here. Toxic. I think that's pretty comprehensive. That's probably what they would have hoped for with that good start they had, but you could also look at it and go, well, it was 7-1 at one point. They might have got even more.
Yeah, I do agree there. I think 7-1, they'll be slightly disappointed that they only got to 10, but I mean, still pretty happy. 10 on starting CT side, especially given how aggressive Toxic has been playing, I think could be a death knell for Primordial.
Could very much be. We are on to the pistol round here. Toxic on CT, Primordial on T. Now, upgraded pistols of any kind for Primordial as well, so they're going to have to get up close and personal with those Glocks. Looking to use the flash to get themselves in. They've got the cross smoke down as well, and playing retake as a standard are Toxic.
Felix takes a bit of damage, jumping backwards and forwards. There's Toxic, as you say. That standard A retake. Let's hope it goes a little bit better than Primordials did. They didn't even really get the chance to get the retake going before just getting utterly thumped.
Yeah, this is true. It's been a bit of a tough time for them overall. And oh, there's the flank coming in, and that might just undo them completely, unfortunately. Steffa coming in there to add to it. In fact, he adds to it with even more. Now in a 2v1 situation. Trying to fake out Quake, and it does cause some movement from him. He's trying desperately to stab him, and he gets the knife kill before getting put down. And unfortunately there for the CTs, that's actually done it.
Okay, no idea how that happened. He ran through the smoke swinging his knife. Happens to get the kill and wins the round. What?
Okay, well, Primordial, they're proving they're still alive in this game. A little bit of luck coming out there, but you make your own luck, one would say as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how lucky you are to be able to knife a person 3 times, but clearly the gods favored you. I mean, you do have the Aztec Emperor on your side, Cusco. So maybe he's just giving you a bit of godly intervention there.
It does seem so. So if we go again into another round here, and still 10-6, of course, because nothing has changed in the last 30 seconds, because everybody's just sitting around.
Yeah, much more passive than Toxic was playing on the T side as Primordial at the moment. Just making certain that Toxic can't get too aggressive. This is obviously a map that does favor some level of CT aggression, just spotting for information, meaning that you can rotate a little bit earlier. Cusco clearly can see through walls as he absolutely dumpsters duplicate there. Maybe just taking a chance on the angle. Either way, it works just the same. Okay, Quaker.
Well, now that they've moved to the T side, they seem a little bit more confident about what they're on about. This map overall tends to be, well, fairly even these days compared to how it was at one point, like heavily T. It's also been CG sided in the past. Now it's quite even, but are we going to see it veer towards the terrorists tonight?
Not certain. Either way, looks like it is T favored for the moment, as Toxic doesn't really have a lot to bring into this round. Steffa does have that UMP that he's picked up somewhere. I think he bought it. Interesting decision to buy this early into the round, and he's going to run himself into trouble and be spanked.
Absolutely spanked there. So 7 to 10 Primordial drawing ever closer. Toxic still, of course, on the save because of that force. So we might see an AWP, I guess, in the hands of Sava, but I think you'd need more like about 3250, I think it is, to be able to buy an AWP. So probably no AWP here unless they go glass cannon.
Yeah, Toxic does seem the kind of team that'll take that chance, but I'm not 100% certain how well that would work. Either way, Primordial have got themselves the Scout in the form of Felix, and the Scout is doing pretty well in terms of the farming there as he grabbed himself Duplicate.
Yep, there's some easy kills coming in. There's really not much here that Toxic can do considering the weaponry they have. They don't have much to work with. Still doing damage though, so maybe they'll get a kill here, but Lagermonster clearly doesn't want to give that to them. He's getting out of dodge because they found out that A site is completely open. There's a stack on B.
The bomb's actually alone on the A side. If that wasn't the case, and there was actually one Toxic player, there could have been panic stations for a second or two. As it is, Felix is doing whatever he can to prevent any sort of panic.
He gets 4 kills, in fact, so that's pretty well, considering I think he was dropped down to 24 HP pretty low. He might have gotten all 4 of those on low HP, so definitely helping his economy. He's got 8,850.
After his buy, and he's bought another one?
Well, that's interesting. I guess they're banking on the lack of armor, and Sava, of course, is on no armor here as well. There's no head armor on any of the players you have Toxic, so while you might often say a Mac 10 is maybe a bit of a blunder to stick with against the full buy.
No, he rebought it.
He rebought it.
He rebought it. He had 9k and he rebought a Mac 10.
Did he drop the one for his teammates, or what was it?
No, Quaker kept his.
Oh, okay. Very, very strange.
Yeah, I don't know. Toxic with pretty heavy A presence as Raf2 is helping out his player on B, gets 2 sprayed through that vent area, and Quaker's taking an awfully big chance, and he's going to be punished for that as well. Raf2 getting up close and personal as that grenade comes out. It's all up to Lagermonster in a 1 versus 2. Sava has no armor, so he needs to take this fight as soon as he can. Lagermonster, though, is going to flash him off and just fall back, but Raf2 hangs around in the back lines, and that will be the punish.
And the star player taking a starring role yet again, Raf2. He's been really good, but quietly has Steffa got up to 21 kills in this game overall, so he's clearly feeling it.
Yeah, Steffa, I do agree with you. He's very, very quiet. I mean, we didn't even really say that much about him apart from a couple of rounds where he got double kill on each, but looking pretty good. Sava clearly needs no armor, even though he can buy it. No, you can't buy. Oh, did he for somebody else? Okay,
Well, that's risky, but he does it anyway.
Okay.
Doesn't need armor. He's like, no, I don't want to be encumbered by the weight of armor. I want to run lively and freely.
So no pants day is clearly a thing in his house, I guess.
Must be. So taking it slow again, our Primordial looking for the boost here, and there is a player very close here who could potentially punish it. I guess we'll have to see how it actually works out. Trying it looks like for probably a split to A based on the nades, but you never know. Still plenty of time, so they could choose to go somewhere else.
That they could. Toxic, as I said, does have quite a heavy mid presence. They got one in the vents, and that should be enough to at least, very least, force out a molly from Orzek. But are they aware of the player up close, though, is the question. Duplicate goes down at the white box.
Blink the trigger discipline, yeah. He manages to get the kill. He might even get the bomb depending on the timing for him. And Wow, that is beautiful timing. In fact, getting the kill. Also, Sarvet managing to catch Cusco, who's probably been one of the better players here for Primordial. And proving it, even on low HP, gets a headshot, 2 headshots, 3 headshots. Cusco going crazy, and he just rounds it out. He wrecks them with the quad kill. How?
And the worst part about that for Toxic is that they had control of the bomb. They didn't know it, but they actually had control of the bomb. Had they not decided to take that fight, there's probably no way Primordial wins that round. Oh my lord, Toxic will be so upset when they watch this demo back.
Absolute madness.
Yeah,
Yeah, also
absolute madness.
still dropping frames like crazy. So again, I do apologize. I don't see that there is any solution to it. The line tests do confirm that the line is okay, so it could be the server or something. I really don't know what we can do to fix it. So I do apologize, guys. I hope you're still enjoying the game nonetheless. But hey, I don't know if Toxic's enjoying it as much as they once were, because the gap is rather closer.
Yeah, Primordial, after that terrible blunder there by Toxic, will almost certainly be on course for an equalized score, 11-11. At the moment, they're only 9-11. Still the chance that Toxic pulls out something nasty. They do have a couple of pistols. Okay, that's interesting.
That
Didn't
go
expect
so
that.
well.
No, that was quite confusing. I don't know why Quaker would be sitting on that angle.
Cusco's so good with these headshots. He's been landing them all night and gets himself a double there. In fact, it wasn't a headshot after I spoke. Talked up as headshots, of course, but hey, is what it is. Does look like Primordial should at least take its tenure.
They should indeed. They're running into Steffa and Raftu. Not really the two players you want to be meeting, even if they are on pistols. As Felix finds out, he's got himself a hole in the side of his head. And a rather painful nightmare to not go B.
Yeah, definitely don't want to want to find yourself in the path of one of those 357 Magnum bullets. This should be Primordial taking it to 10. So what looked like it might have been a really quick game with Toxic just stomping them in the first half. It seems to have reversed completely. The stomping has gone the other way.
That it has. Toxic, to be fair, did make a rather large error of judgment. And Primordial has profited. So Toxic playing it a little bit safer than Primordial was. Primordial, though, still looking pretty damn solid. They got lots of money and should be able to buy for at least the next 3 rounds.
Yeah, they should be just fine here. So, bringing it within 1, and I think if you'd asked us in the first half, we probably would have said, Toxic probably got this. They're just wrecking everything. And it's not proved to be the case at all here in the second half. So, CT side a problem for both teams.
Yeah, big problem for both teams. Toxic will be taking the save now. Tac pause in this round. Please don't tell me they're going to be buying around that AK though. Doesn't look like it.
So in the pause for now, so I'm assuming they're just discussing a thing or two. It doesn't seem to be a technical pause, seems to be a tactical pause of some kind. So would imagine it's probably Toxic discussing a thing or two, yeah, because whatever they've tried so far hasn't been really effective in any way in this half.
No. That round that they almost won and then fed away to Cusco was pretty close.
Well, it wasn't effective though. They didn't win it.
No. They happened to run into the arch enemy of their heads, which is Cusco, who's currently 23-13, doing his best to outperform Steffa, who's 23-12.
Yeah. I wonder if I should take this opportunity just to stop the stream and start it again, because we do seem to be losing a lot of frames. I can't imagine that the viewing experience is very good. Again, apologize. I don't know why. Line is fine. Must be the server. Let me do that, in fact. I will try to restart it. So back we are. And let's hope that it stays up and we don't experience the frame drops anymore. That would be really nice.
That would be really nice. It's,
hope
Toxic.
Pray with us that the server connection is fine. Please, server, please. Help us. Seems okay for the first few seconds, yeah? So let's hope that the the stream does hold up. Do apologize again if you have been with us. That's been rather choppy because for whatever reason the restream server does not seem to be playing ball today. And oh, there it goes again. So yeah, I do apologize. I can't really do anything about it. Hopefully we can maybe fix it in between the maps or something. But for now, we're going to have to bear with it. We do apologize.
Yeah, we've actually got a pause as well. Let's see if we can find out anything. No. Nope, 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 nope.
No information.
Nothing.
Don't know why there's a pause. Okay, well, that's okay.
Next. Been cancelled, but no idea what that was.
A very, very long tactical pause.
Ugh, I mean, I don't even. That's tactical. That's more like just a strategic meeting at a high level in a high level company type thing. It's just pure crazy. Either way, Primordial making a fast play towards A. Pretty standard default here, nothing really fancy. Cusco holding the angle of local superstar Sonic. A little bit more aggressive than Sonic was, though, as he does push all the way up to that squeaky door, and Toxic only one player on the A side, the rest of them all loitering around mid and B at this stage. No, that's a stack in the A side. Yeah, it's a stack.
That's a stack, okay. that maybe makes sense.
A boost stack, because I was like, wait, there's only 4 that I see. Now there's really only 4 on the map, as 3 is indeed the final count. Felix gets himself another kill there. Toxic taking a chance, this time not working out. They get themselves 1 kill, but it would have ideally liked to get a couple more.
Certainly they would have, and I don't think they're going to be able to do much more. Yeah, Duplicate the last man alive, and he's not had a good game at all for Toxic so far. The rest of his teammates were popping off in that first half. I think he ended the first half with 4 kills, so yeah. Don't really think he's going to do too much more here, and won't be able to. 11 all here, Primordial and Toxic, drawing level after a very good opening half there for Toxic. They've just struggled on the CT side. Finally with a bye, but can they even do more? I mean, us talking about Duplicate getting 4 kills in the first half, he's only on 5 now.
Yeah, he's not having a great game, especially when the rest of his team, all in double digits, the lowest with 12. So Duplicate really is having a rough game. And you can see he's certainly doing damage. He's got 5 assists, but not what you want, and neither is that. If you are a Toxic fan, Felix gets an easy kill on Blink 1 there. He just sort of walks into the angle without any method of checking it. I think he did have some level of utility as well. So easy kill for Felix as Primordial completely controlling this T side.
Yeah, very much so. Still slowing it down, yeah, nobody dying after that early exchange. So, oh, I was actually watching a video the other day from Anders on his Theorycraft series, and he showed that exact spam. So it's quite funny. Cusco must be watching Anders' content.
Clearly, as that is a lovely little spot to actually be boosted up. Orzek holding angles and Rap walking into them. And Orzek showing that he's got some skills that kills as well. He will go down to Sava, but I mean, this round all but won by that play there. It gets the 2 most powerful players on Toxic, Stefa and Raftu, both in the grave, and Primordial with a 12th.
Making it look easy overall. Sava going to be looking to hang on to his hide and his guns. Not that a USP really counts as the plural there, but anyway, he'll hang on to it, hopefully. They are trying to hunt him down here, so I don't know if he'll be able to beat Lager Monster here. And unfortunately, maybe the shoulder peek there undoing him. If he'd stayed in the corner, he probably could have waited for Lager Monster to walk into his crossover. But you never know, of course.
He didn't really have much HP to play with either. I think he did kind of have to take the fight there, personally.
Well, anyway, we do see Primordial take the lead for... Is this the first time?
This is indeed the first time.
Wow, okay. So, taking the lead, that certainly is going to help their cause, yeah. And again, I'm somewhat surprised considering how good that first half was from Toxic.
Yeah, I mean, it does sort of leave you to wonder, was just Toxic getting off to a good start and Primordial being slow starters, or what actually has happened here? Because Primordial played that very, very odd default, and okay, Duplicate not checking the corner. That's an interesting one.
Ouch. Cusco
Yeah,
nearly getting
big
caught
ouch.
there, but he doesn't actually get caught in the end. He'll take down Sava, and he's been looking really good in this particular half. He didn't do that much in the first half, but here in the second half, aside from that single highlight in the first half, actually, that I recall of him playing towards Forklift, he's just been absolutely supreme, knocking everybody over. Another triple kill this round.
Yeah, he's been a complete monster. As Primordial, off the back of his play as Cusco, he's now on course for the ace, gets himself a fourth, and Steffa is going to oblige him.
Wow, there's an ace for Cusco. That was
and his
wow,
and
30 bomb and the ace. So easiest of his life, I guess you'd probably say.
Certainly would be. I mean, if he's not spamming in chat right now, he damn well better should be.
He really should be.
Dropping the BM chat here.
I see our Hungarian counterparts do think that Cusco is suspicious, and yeah, I guess with that wallbang maybe, but it is also a known spot if you do your research. So guess not too much to be said there, but he gets the ace in the previous round. That was a really good one. Rafter getting aggressive. Things worked so well for him in the first half there, but gets dropped instantly in the trades, favoring Felix and the Primordial team. 13-11, and it's a 4v3. They've certainly got this game well within their grasp.
Yeah, and Toxic, I mean, just over-aggression costing them. Too many times just trying to take early fights to make certain they win rounds, and we can see here that is going to be kill number 3. Felix is feasting on the Toxic team at the moment, as he himself showing not too shabby if you give him the chances, and he's been given 3 and knocked them all back.
Most certainly has. So the rotation towards the A side coming in, there's only a single player there, but of course the defense is split apart. Could maybe fall apart for them depending on how things go, but Sava's got the AWP. You'd think that after he gets a shot off, they should take him down.
Well, they've got lots of utility. They can't afford to waste it now and do nothing, and they won't. Sava almost getting out of the clutches of Cusco, but he's not going to give them too many chances, as it leaves it all on duplicate. The players struggled, let's be fair, on the Toxic side at the moment.
Yeah, he hasn't had too good of a time of it at all, and I guess that probably means that he should look to save here. He's been luckless, really. Is he still on 5 kills? I think he is.
I do believe he is.
Oh, there we go. He's on 6 now.
6.
Commentators cursed him there for a second, so...
Intentionally.
Intentionally.
So reversed.
Kill. Look at that. Reverse commentators curse psychology. Is that what it's called?
Yes. It's an extensively studied phenomenon. As you can see, he gets himself a 7th.
Yep.
40% increase in kills. Streams. 40% increase in kills.
Yep. We've got about a 40% increase in frame drops again. We were okay for about 3 minutes, and now we're back to absolutely destroying itself. So, yep. Slideshow again. Hopefully people can hear what's going on.
Yeah, it is a rather large annoyance that that has to happen tonight.
Yep, gotta shake my head and shrug my shoulders. No idea why it's doing that, but hey, is what it is. As is the score at the moment, 14-11 Primordial. They are running away with us now.
Yeah, quite clearly. I mean, Toxic's picked up 1 round on the CT side, so Raftu and friends might be absolute beasts on the entry when they can choose a time and place for their fights, but when the fights come into them, suddenly not such a strong bunch of boxers.
Yeah, definitely not. Let's hope we can maybe switch to a different stream server or something like that in between the games. Hopefully we'll come back with a slightly better and more stable stream. But while we're talking about that, things are looking rather unstable for Toxic. They are getting destroyed at the moment. And Primordial in full control of that B-bomb site. 4v1. You'd say in the first half version of Raftu should have this, but even against all the odds with how he was hitting everything. But yeah, I'm not so certain.
I mean, he's going to need to ace in this round if he wants any chance. He's not doing too bad, as I say that. Lager Monster gets the kill there. But huge damage dealt. And I think if he'd gotten the kill down to Quaker and Felix, it would have been close either way. It's not close on the scoreboard right now, 15-11, but that does belie the fact that 10 of those rounds came on the CT side for Toxic. They have been adrift at sea on the CT side. So Primordial certainly showing that the pace and control that the T side does give them certainly something to their liking.
Yeah, giving them something that they're clearly enjoying. Felix has had a pretty good time of it as well because of just how aggressive Toxic have been in pushing. And a lot of teams will tend to sort of turtle when their backs against the wall like this, but we've still seen Toxic consistently get aggressive off these bomb sites.
Yeah, the problem is they don't flash themselves into position, or you really use any of the utility to clear certain angles. So it really just feeds into Primordial holding angles and getting relatively easy kills on toxic players. It's there's nothing fancy about what Primordial is doing. It's just basic hold basic hold your default and wait for toxic to make a mistake. As Felix gets another kill there that time, looked like he did actually peek into the angle to get blink 1.
Yeah, for a rare moment, the stream does seem to be stable again, so let's hope that we do catch everything going on in this particular round. The Molly will come in to slow them down, but not slowing them down enough. Still getting the kills they are. Raftu with a reply. Duplicate also getting a rare kill himself before getting traded off. 3v2 situation, and it's got to be Raftu and Steph are the two best players for Toxic so far to hold this off in a numerical disadvantage. Raftu dropping the bomb, though. That could be pretty big. Waker doing his best to pepper him with gunfire, then actually catches off Steffa. That's a huge problem because they know exactly where Raftu is, and maybe he needs to get aggressive here.
Time is slow though, and Quaker will clean it up.
Yeah, that was a good effort from Raftu, but he didn't do enough. Talking about good efforts overall, though, Primordial wrecking them in the second half. There was barely a reply in that second half from Toxic. In fact, they only got one round on CT.
Yeah, I was a very, very disappointing CT side for Toxic, and certainly not something they'd be likely or would be wanting to repeat anytime soon. As I mean, Primordial, we were thinking that they were basically all but done at the end of that half, showing that there's always two sides to any story.
Indeed, so it looks like we are going to break. We'll be back in a bit, hopefully with a better working stream. In the meantime, enjoy the break.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Get your team apparel now at shop.eslgaming.com.
me. Something popped in my brain. No, baby, only you I see. Feels like I'm going insane, and only you can save me. Feels like I'm drowning in ocean's blue. Baby, come on, baby, baby, come on, let's go. I'm losing control over lights in this place. Keep jumping around, all I see is your face. But you're moving closer, no time to escape. Your hand on my shoulder shoots me into space, and I can't deny how badly I need you now. 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 You take away my breath now, boy. Don't you dare steal my heart now, boy. I know you're something that I'll enjoy. Move a little bit closer now, to some place where there ain't no crowds. I wanna get to know you right here and now. I got trapped in your touch the moment you took my hand. Led me all the way to the ocean sand. You told me don't worry as the moonlight glared. I pulled you in close, so whispered I'm not scared. I'm losing control, the lights in this place. Keep jumping around, all I see is your face. But you're moving closer, no time to escape. Your hand on my shoulder shoots me into space, and I can't deny how badly I need you now. 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 I need you
I can't find my way back to you until you make amends with the demons you've been through. And I can't regret leaving you alone until you find your way back home. Until you find your way back home. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown. Don't let me drown.
Well, it does appear as if we are back. Do welcome all of you who have joined us across the various channels. Appreciate you guys being here. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. We're having a frustrating evening with frame drops, but hopefully we do get that sorted out pretty soon. The guys are trying to sort that out for us before the game actually starts, so the stream might stop and go again. But in the meantime, we might have to contend with it for a bit, so really do apologize. Not a hell of a lot we can do about it, though, unfortunately. In the meantime, I'm Extremes. Joining me is Prophecy, and we are going to be casting Primordial versus Toxic. And I nearly confused Prophecy and Primordial there. I had to stop for a second.
That would be horrible. How could you do such a thing?
I don't know, yeah. Bit of a caveman sometimes. You could be Primordial. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah,
That's mean.
that
I
is
prefer
mean.
the term troglodyte.
There we go. That's a very big word for caveman. But off we go. This is ESL Southeast Europe Season 7. And it says Playday 1. I'm confused as to how it can be, considering this is the third time we're casting. But you explained it earlier, and I think you'll explain it again in the break, just so that I get it.
Yeah, well, either way, it says Groups Day 3 at the top of the stream. So that's what we're calling it now, I guess. It's the third day of casting, even though it is, in fact, a game from Playday 1. And Quaker is in no mood to play as he gets the first kill there onto, well, Duplicate, and Felix is going to follow up now as the fight does now hit the A site, and before we can even get the words of our mouth, Primordial is in a 2 versus 3 on the retake.
Difficult situation, but not when you get a headshot like that. Orzek with an awesome headshot. Are they going to get the position from Blink? And no, they're not. 2 kills from Blink, quicker than you can blink. And that is that in that particular round. Primordial getting destroyed on the retake.
Yeah, this is a map that will heavily favor the CTs in general. I mean, you could probably expect a 9 or a 10 round, well, not start, but certainly 9 or 10 rounds for the CTs would be a pretty decent setup there. For Toxic, though, anything above, I think, 5 would be great. Certainly started off in the best possible fashion, as they do grab that pistol. Felix, this time on the CZ, while Quaker went with the Scout. So, interesting decision there, since Felix is actually the AWPer. Primordial, though, will stack that B bomb site and allow Toxic to basically hit the A site unimpeded.
In they go. They're going to be popping down a couple mollies here to maybe just cover their entry onto the site. No real resistance just yet. Bomb will go down eventually. Planting for bank, in fact, so they're quite confident of their hold there. And everybody from Primordial being caught out of position on the rotate now. Will they
I mean, I'd almost say save.
Yeah, I was going to say, they should save. I wouldn't go for this. They've got value on them.
Yeah, lots of armor, lots of upgraded weaponry, even some utility. So, we'll go sit in the playground area. Well, yeah, the playground. As Salva has spotted one. That'll give Toxic the indication. Now, does Toxic take these fights, though? I don't know if they should. Should just be an impasse at this stage. Basically, a ceasefire.
Yeah, there should be a ceasefire. We have had players from those sorts of areas where there were civil wars not too long ago. So, I guess, as awful as it may sound, we've heard it a lot in these sorts of regions. And I'm going to stop there because that was stupid. Anyway, Toxic 2-0.
Yeah, Cusco, only player along with Quaker to go down in that round. Either way, Primordial will be trying a different thing this time. They're going to be stacking A, and Toxic going to be rushing B. So, 2 gambles and 2 losses.
Jeez, yeah. When you go for the stacks, you got to hope that sometimes they work out for you, but it's not working out at all so far for Primordial. And again, T-side starting really well. We saw that on Cash before as well. So we have to wait until we actually see a buy round come in here, but I'm not so... Well, I was going to say I'm not so certain of what might actually happen there. But Cusco, making it work. He seems to hit headshots with whatever.
Yeah, especially against Rafi. That's actually a very, very nice little tap there. And Orzek returning the favor. Well, getting the favor returned upon him by Steph at 2K. Blink is going to get himself Cusco. And Quaker and Felix, well, they don't seem too keen on taking these fights. They're going to be doubling up near the T-spawn. Are they going to be able to get a kill? They are, and that might very well be an AK. That would be something definitely worth saving. And yeah, big win for them in the end. Felix will now be able to buy his AWP and he'll be able to drop that weapon over to a friend.
No.
No, no AWPs. That's interesting. An AWP would have been an incredibly powerful weapon.
What a greedy Gus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because Felix is also the AWPer as well, usually, so you'd expect him to go for it, but decides not to. Gets himself a few more nades. Orzek, though, getting instantly burned there by Raftu. Are they aware of the play here, Toxic? I'm not so certain that they are. Raftu walking in here in Cusco. He has been absolutely imperious tonight, and he continues that form. Gets 2, goes back for the 3rd, but he's not quite able to do it. Still 3v2 situation. Make that a 3v1, in fact. Felix, well, he's up here, and maybe an AWP might have worked a little bit better from that sort of vantage point. He's probably going to have to bug out now on 15 HP.
Yeah, also not a site that you're going to take even if you had that AWP. So Felix will be almost certainly playing it safe. He's got a bit of utility to maybe try for the Superman play, but I really can't see it working out. So yeah, he's going to take the safest course of action, as Toxic will just make certain of that bomb plant as well.
Felix very paranoid here, wants to hang on to the weapon at all costs, so he drops the traditional smoke behind himself as he moves up. This was a fairly smart position to be. And, well, smart it might be, but not so good for his team overall. 4-0, they are taking a beating in these opening rounds.
That they are. Lager yet to pick up a kill, Orzek and Quaker only on 1 each, so at the moment, Felix and Cusco, the only members of the team doing damage, and I mean, I don't think it needs to be said, but when only 2 members of your team are actually getting kills at this stage, you can expect a pretty brutal scoreline to start things off, and 4-0 on the T side of Overpass certainly has the beginnings of a rather brutal map for Toxic.
Yeah, that is interesting. Is this not Primordial's pick?
Primordial chose to play it out of the 3.
Well,
so
again, the caveat that it's not a traditional pick ban. It's ban 4 and then 3 remaining in whatever order. So it's still not the start they might have wanted.
Yeah, I mean, Toxic was willing to let it through, let's put it that way. I don't know if Primordial would have picked it first, because Toxic banned Inferno and Train, which are, slightly more tactical maps. And there's nothing tactical about that. Cusco gets his brain rearranged.
Certainly going to scramble the thoughts.
Yeah. Not going to help him at all there. Primordial, though, at this stage, they do still have that AK. Trying to get a bit aggressive, but no real positions to find here. They got a lot of information. They might be able to actually sneak up behind Toxic through that lowest area. If Toxic hasn't closed that door, they do indeed now Raptu holding the back lines, not able to control the spray well enough to get the kill on Lager Monster. It does get the one on Orzek. Either way, it's a 3 versus 4 in the retake. Primordial not well favored at this point, as only Felix has any sort of chance to do damage here.
And actually, again, maybe not the best idea to go in, but he's trying anyway. And actually, now that he does have a kit, this is possible. There is a molly, though, of course, that could dissuade him.
They do have a
from
smoke. They do have a smoke, though. Not used correctly, though, and Steffa is going to pull through.
Feels bad for the man. I was just thinking Primordial might actually win that situation, but not even slightly. Toxic shutting them down rather smartly. 5-0, and this feels like deja vu all over again. That's what we saw in the first map, despite the fact that Primordial destroyed them on their own T side.
The biggest worry for me here is that the difference in cash to Overpass is cash is the kind of map where you can get away with, a fairly shaky T side if you can beast on the CT. Orzek getting wrecked now by Duplicate through that wall, and things go from bad to worse for Primordial here.
Not looking good. They do have the double AWP though, so they'd hope that could do some damage. Problem is, of course, they're now spread out. And also, I was going to say, Lager Monster might get caught up being pushed up so far, but he does what's required. Blink now on the hunt to maybe bring it back. And Lager Monster, unfortunately, looking the wrong way. Probably after getting that kill, he needed to get out there.
Yeah, he really needed to get out there as soon as possible. Either way, it's not going to help him out as 4 versus 3 Toxic. That hasn't really done a whole lot of anything. Looks like they're going to be making a play towards B. They do still have lots of utility, so should be a flash coming over that wall to blind Cusco. And Or they're going to sneak through. I really wouldn't recommend that. Cusco has that off angle, and it's going to be very, very difficult. He's not going to get the kill, and then he runs directly into Blink, trying to take the fight there. Is Primordial have already called it. They want no part of that. Double orbs are not going to work for them in this round. Not even going to get a chance to work. And Toxic grabs their 6th.
Yeah, very emphatic 6th, in fact. We've seen it close maybe once so far in that 2v2 in the previous round. And that's really been the only time Primordial have looked even competitive here. So it remains to be seen. Of course, we won't see a proper buy round for another couple at the very least. But do Primordial have anything on the CT side, yeah?
Well, it doesn't look like it at the moment. They haven't. I mean, if you think about it, like what have the Orbs actually done? Quaker and Felix, have they even taken a shot with the Orbs? They haven't had them for many rounds, but I mean, not really doing a whole lot. Just complete retreat. Raf2 doesn't care about mollies, and he'll get Quaker as well. Did he spot Felix? I think he did right at the end there.
Jeez, if there was an extra 2 seconds, that might have been another kill. So Felix is going to be the only one with a saved weapon. Of course, they do have the loss bonus now accruing that they can buy anyway around it. So still double AWPs would have made the buy a little bit better. Probably would have seen Quaker obviously on an AWP instead of a FAMAS. So it is going to hurt them a little bit, but what's hurting them far more is just the scoreboard at the moment. Why are they going short here when they know that he's spraying every time? Oh.
He's mollying, and then he just sprays through the wall. That's twice now he's gotten kills.
Yeah, I think they got to give up trying to be aggressive there off short because he's countering them rather hard at the moment.
I mean, they don't even get shots on him. It's basically just a free kill. It's like, okay, well, cool, we're going to start the round 4 versus 5. Why not? And they're going to keep getting aggressive now through the water pipe. I mean, if Duplicate holds the correct angle, that's just another free kill at the very least. Primordial has map control through the bathrooms and water. If Duplicate decides to walk through into B, there's nothing they can do to stop him.
Potentially, but it looks like they're actually rotating out, maybe going towards A long. So see what Blink is able to do. He's been landing some pretty nice shots tonight so far. And they are going to be facing off against that AWP, I think.
Toxic somehow threading the eye of the needle. They'll be walking through the middle of Primordial's setup here. Moving towards the A site, and I mean, to be honest, there's only actually one player on that site that can do anything to stop them. That'll be Felix. He's going to miss the first shot. He's going to land the second one, though. That is a great one, but immediately traded out, and all of a sudden, Primordial don't really have the best positioning to hold this off. Orzek is going to do whatever he can. Lager Monster, though, is going to go down after pulling from long. Cusco's gotten the quick rotate through the lows here, and this might be the smallest of chances. Cusco is low, as is Raftu, and Primordial could be in business here. Orzek does have a grenade as well as a kit, and just like that, as I build it up, down it goes. Toxic shut it down for a 7th in a row.
They came in with the hard nope to that particular suggestion. But to be fair, I would have done exactly the same thing. I would have built it there too, thinking, yep, Primordial. This is their time. Finally, it's going to... No. That's just really how it went down. 7-0 here, Primordial, in a really, really difficult situation. They are in a hole that they've sort of dug for themselves as they've tried to push off that B-bomb site repeatedly, and it just seems to have been such a problem.
Yeah, it really has been a massive problem for them. And I mean, forcing up, I don't really know if that's the best idea at this point, because your weaponry is so massively underpowered. You also don't have any utility. It's so important for the CTs on this map at the moment. As you can see, Toxic eventually are going to lose the first player in the round, and Steph has taken a huge amount of damage. That's 2 in favor of Primordials. Toxic now continues to do huge work. Sorry, Primordial continues to do huge work here. Toxic trying to fight their way through and not checking all the corners. Raftu somehow does a 90-degree turn and gets a kill. Lager Monster's now pulled in. It's Salva in a 1 versus 2. Can he do it? He's going to get a fantastic second kill there. It's all up to him against Lager Monster. Now he's going to swap out for that AK. Does he have the shot? He knows where Lager Monster is, and he's got the brain to land it in between Lager Monster's eyes.
Oh my
8
word.
in a row.
Salva there in the 1v1, and again I thought maybe this is Primordial's round. Apparently not. They're just getting slapped down hard at the moment. A half win on overpass off terrorist side. That's just, yeah, it's one of those shouldn't happen sort of things again. And talking about shouldn't happen, it looks like we're dropping frames again. Apologies.
Yeah.
Oh my word,
Yeah.
it was fine there for a good 20 minutes. Now it's back to its.
I think it's just noping up as the amount of well, the beating that Toxic is handing out to Primordial on this map at the moment. It's just like, no, please, no more. It's Felix. He's gonna try and walk around that long area, but Toxic seemingly know exactly what's up, and there's a lot more passive this round. They know that Primordial will almost certainly be saving, or at the very least trying to make something happen. So they'll play it a lot safer, wait for Primordial to push off the sites and get the kills.
Yeah. Got to make sure that they clear their corners nicely here, of course, against these CZs. The CZs can bite, but Primordial's bite so far in this map in particular has been rather uninspired.
To say the very least, as Raftu shows you what the power of an Apex Predator is, killing off Cusco there as Lager Monsters. The next one up.
Oh,
Raftu.
what?
Oh, almost stuffed that up. I was just building him up, you know, saying like he's the hunter of monsters, and unfortunately doesn't quite work out. Blink jumping around through the air, still able to get the kill there, and just spraying into the body a little bit. So BM is coming out now. Toxic just showing Primordial that maybe things were incorrectly chosen.
Yeah, this is so crazy. It's such a turnaround again after that first map. Primordial have pretty much no CT side here to speak of so far. Double AWPs is what they're going to attempt again. Hasn't been successful for them at all just yet. Let's see, maybe they can do something with this, but I don't know. I almost feel like I don't want to build things up for them anymore, because it just feels like everything they try doesn't work.
Yeah, they're now trying a boost at the small wooden wall. Does duplicate check it? And moment, duplicate's going to walk right next to the wall. Is a pretty common spam spot these days, as a couple of players have been punished, especially at the pro level, but flashes are coming out, fighting for control of the short area towards the bathrooms, and Primordial already rotating a third player over to the A side.
Trying to get in there, of course, and going to be popping those smokes down to try to get some purchase on this bomb site. Raftu's been looking so good so far.
Yeah, I was just going to say, he looks like he's about ready to run through that smoke. Duplicate. I swear I saw a boost there. But probably just seeing things either way. It does look as though Toxic is going to lose 2 players to start things off. And this might be the round for Primordial. Just as I say that, Blink. Well, he's evening things up. He is Thanos himself. All things in balance as Toxic at the moment. 3 versus 3. They haven't got the bomb down yet, and Primordial is getting into pretty good after-plant positions before that bomb even goes down. So Toxic needs to be very, very careful. They need to be watching their back angles, and it looks like Lagermonster might be walking into Duplicate. He's going to get Duplicate, though. That does give away his position. Can Toxic hold this off?
Sava, the Clutch Master himself, still alive. Yeah, he's on the AWP, though, and that's not always the weapon you want in the clutch. Cusco, so dangerous on the previous map. Can he be the player with the heroics? Yeah. Blink, however, and Sava, they've got other ideas completely. And in fact, Blink will close it out. Again, a quad kill here for Blink. And again, Toxic lose. Well, they don't lose, actually. They win in the clutch situation. Primordial just losing every clutch.
I mean, what do you say at this point? Like, Primordial just never has money. They get into clutches. They lose every clutch. They start rounds 2 players up, and then they immediately lose them to Blink. It's just like, how do you even describe this? It just doesn't seem to. Oh, sorry, not Blink. Primordial just doesn't seem to be getting anything going their way at this time.
And as you say
Sava
that,
checking angles.
the casual AWP shots at a very off angle there, so that doesn't feel good when it happens to you.
It's a fairly common these days. This Duplicate is going to go down. It's a small ray of sunshine in a rather dark day for Primordial on Overpass at the moment.
Except if you're outside in Greece, where they're from. I'm sure there's plenty of sunshine going on there during the days in summer. Just not on the server.
No, definitely not on the server. Okay, Felix gets the kill there. Toxic just overplaying their hand slightly. They do have 1 player on very, very low HP. He's going to be given the AWP, obviously. Don't want to be giving him any weapon that needs more than 1 bullet to kill. And Primordial stacking the correct site now, as they do suspect it is coming towards A. Toxic will all be coming down the long area, and does feel like there's a lot riding on the entries here, as Orzek is going to bring down Sava, and Quaker gets lucky, finds the low HP player, and finally we have our first round for Primordial. 1 for 10. And
Okay.
money for days.
Yeah, this is.
I mean, Blink was running at 16k.
Yeah. Okay. Well done on one round, but even 5 would probably be not enough on CT side. You would think, but again, we got to go back to the previous map where T side was so dominant from Primordial, so maybe that's all they've got in the tank. Meanwhile, fast play onto this B side, and Cusco going to be shutting down those early players. Quaker as well, getting the nade kill and the AK kill, in fact, and now Primordial actually in a position to potentially win their second. 5 HP on Raftu. Surely he's not going to last for much longer. Lagger Monster will get him. Sava, though, the last man left alive. He's trying to press the issue here. Just take some guns away, of course, because they've got so much money. Primordial with a second on the board, but that's, well, still, again, a lot to be determined here. If they can get 5, it would be okay, but still on 2. I'm not believing yet, Prof.
I mean, it's better than what they had. It's infinitely better than what they had 2 rounds ago. So Primordial has at least given themselves the tiniest sliver of a chance. And you never know. I mean, a couple of rounds like that from Sava, though, will lead to a 10-2 scoreline for Toxic, as unfortunately Primordial do, for the umpteenth time, lose a player to an opening pick here. Primordial need to get something done. Are they going to get aggressive? At the moment, Toxic just playing a lot more aggressively in their default, pushing up long very, very quickly, also pushing up the short side of bathrooms. They'll be clearing out those angles, and that flash is just utterly perfect. Raftu gets an easy kill, gets an easy double, so to speak, and all of a sudden, Primordial save time indeed, as Sava is going to be trying to take the craziest of crazy close picks. Not going to work out for him, as he will go down. Orzek gets the kill there, but a lot of players on hand to get the kills, and Duplicate is one of them.
Nails and coffins, that's what I'm thinking of right now. It could be that could be the death blow there for Primordial.
Is it nails and coffins at this stage, or is it just another heap full of sand on top of the coffin? Because Primordial is able to buy, but Orzek down to that CZ.
Well, we know it's a very good weapon. Will he be able to do too much with it? He hasn't done too much in general so far on this particular map. He was pretty good on the previous, though. That was cash that was won by Primordial, so it almost feels like we're destined to go to that. Ooh, nice angle there from Steffa with the boost. Quaker getting aggressive and not profiting from it whatsoever.
That is a pretty consistent boost spot that they've used, and they've gotten a kill there at least twice, so looking pretty good. Steffa trades out for Lager Monster, though, 3 versus 4, and make that a 3 versus 2. Steffa Monster doesn't care if he's flying through there and landing on rocks, he's going to kill you anyway. Felix goes down.
Tough stuff there for Primordial, getting knocked off their perch yet again. Duplicate catching Orzek as well, bouncing around like a crazy rabbit with the bunny hops. Cusco, the last man left alive. He did ace on the previous map, but I'm not so sure he's going to get the 4K here. And actually, I think he heard him. That should cue the side take, of course, and B. And actually, it was already in progress as that was happening. So Cusco now in a pretty impossible situation.
Yeah, you could see off a second that he debated going towards the B site and swiftly disabused of that notion and take damage as well. So Cusco trying to play this cleverly. It's not going to work out. Raftu up to the task.
So 12-2, yeah, this is domination like we seldom see. Blink, he's missing an 8-2 from his name, but 16-5 is his KD, and that's rather good.
Yeah, it's very good. Extremes, very, very good.
So final round of the half here, Toxic emphatically winning it quite some time ago already. Now just looking to pile some more pressure on to pour more sand on the grave, as you said, assuming there's a grave. But Quaker still alive, still kicking. He's kicked somebody's head clean off.
That he has. Toxic with a lot more speed this round, almost like they're trying to push an aggressive A long already. And I mean, at this stage, Quaker's the only actual player on the A side. Not that Toxic would know that, but they might very well have made the correct guess here. Dasava spot Quaker, who has pushed pretty deep into the bathrooms. He does indeed, and takes his head as a trophy. Primordial now, do they gamble on the B side? They're going to push a player up lows just to maybe try and get any sort of information. It's actually going to push behind them through the T-spawn area up that ladder. Primordial looks like they have realized that the gamble has not worked, and they will be having to force the way towards the A site.
The gamble stacks have just generally not worked for them on CT side yet at all, and could also be that they're just gambling too much and not really trying anything too coordinated in terms of aggression. That's just always felt that way. But Felix, though, getting a kill, also getting one as well, and actually bringing it into a 4v2 here. Sava's been really clutch so far. He's been landing the headshots, but it's only going to be one headshot for him here. Raftu knows there's a player close by. He will deal with him rather smartly, and now in a position to stop this, but nade out, not able to let go of it, and I think here it could be a problem. Oh no, the nade fails, in fact. Now in the 1v1, he needs to kill him, and no time! That was just a comedy of errors from Raftu there. That was unfortunate for him, but Primordial still grasping at straws here, grasping at life, and maybe they might be on life support, but they're still somewhat alive, at least with 3.
Yeah, they do whatever they can. Fingers on the edge of the cliff at this point is Primordial. Well, they might be falling into the Primordial ooze that Toxic have consigned them to at this 12-3, starting on the CT half, and Primordial did win T-Pistol last time. Are they going to win it this time?
Let's hope so. Dealing out some gunshots here, and we're going to see somebody go down there. That would be Raftu. Felix getting that kill. He's dropped quite low, however, so that could be a liability potentially for them. But that is the start they wanted. They need the pistol round. They actually absolutely have to have the pistol round. If they don't get it, then they are in serious danger.
Yeah, I mean, you'd almost basically call it done by that point if they don't win the pistol, unless they can pull off some crazy force by Toxic. Very, very far back in the sights, apart from at B there, where they do have that early warning system. I do wonder if it's going to work out, though. Do they check that corner? He might make massive play. He's actually going to go for the kills as Steffa. He's going to get the first one. He's going to not get the third. But that's bought a lot of time and a lot of rotations for Toxic, and they still have one low player. Duplicate, though, is going to go down. He was the next man up for the defense there. Cusco and Orzek are going to lose their third player, and it's Blink now. He's going to have to fight his way through here. Gets the first kill, super low HP, and somehow Orzek wins it with a great headshot there at the end.
Oh, that was just a crazy situation, but it comes through there for Primordial, so hanging on to some semblance of life in this game with the pistol round, that was what they needed to stay alive in it, but they've still got a massive mountain to climb. 8 rounds is the deficit at this stage, 12-4 here. Toxic going to be on the force here. They don't necessarily need to look after the economy just yet because they've got the rounds in hand. Primordial, on the other hand, have got no space for any mistakes.
None at all, and at this stage, wins are the only currency that Primordial can be dealing with. Toxic still got some rounds to play with, so we could see a couple of chances taken for spies, but for the moment they're being rather considerate with their money.
Sending a few bullets downrange, then doing some damage. Stefan on 25 HP. Cusco's dropped about 40 himself, so no harm done just yet, but I'm sure there is great intention to do harm here from Raftu, and he actually gets the first kill on Felix and takes a battle with the player on a scout. Maybe not at that distance. The CZ's good, but is it that good? It is that good, as it turns out. Or is it going down as well?
Yeah, unfortunately, as soon as they lose players over there, Primordial will know that they can just push towards the sites, and there's not a whole lot Toxic can do. You can leave them in the back play, as Lagermonster does decide to try and take the fight there, but Toxic not looking very healthy. Lagermonster should get an easy kill down to Steffa.
Indeed, so post-plant situation, and, well, a very short post-plant situation as well. Also talking about short was our time with no stream issues. It seems like we're dropping packets again. Do apologize, guys. Again, not a lot we can do about it. The restream server just not playing ball today for whatever reason. So let's hope it coughs whatever phlegm is on its chest off and we get back to normal service.
Well, it should be business as usual in this round for Primordial. Toxic not really getting anything except a single P250 upgraded. And they're going to try to take a fight. Does it work out? They are going to get one kill. We'll be looking for a couple more. And they're going to get a couple more. And just like that, though, things turn nastily in Primordial's favor as Toxic loses all but one of their players.
Tough stuff there, and it looked like they might get even more done with the USPs, but 2 still a decent return considering there wasn't really a buy. I mean, you could call it a lack of a buy, but it's just, yeah, there was nothing for them. They made miracles with nothing, shall we say. Duplicate again though, for his team. He did some good work there in the previous half, holding off short, but those were the only kills he got in the half. He really has lagged behind for Toxic the whole evening.
Yeah. Lagged very, very far behind. It's much like our restream server.
Somewhat, yes. So it will be the buy round coming in here, and we've got the double AWPs there for Sava and Blink. Sava's certainly shown himself capable on the AWP so far. Haven't really seen Blink yet. Double AWPs were completely ineffectual for Primordial. Let's see if Toxic can maybe do a little bit more with that. One concern though, Quaker not buying up an AWP.
Obviously doesn't feel like he needs it at stage. He's got that scout, which is obviously increased mobility. Does still provide the ability to kill with one bullet to the head. And Quaker, that's a very passive angle to be holding. And you'll almost never see it hold that spot.
Yeah, that is super passive. Nobody really going for it here, which is interesting to me. I would have thought somebody's going to go with some aggression with nearly 45 seconds left. Nobody did.
Primordial...
No damage exchanged.
I mean, Primordial at this stage, with the amount of time left, it looks like it's going to be a B. I just can't see them pushing all the way to A. So they are going to have the bonus of Toxic being in a rather terrible situation to hold off a B take, an incredibly passive set of angles that they're holding. The boost is not going to work out if Steffa does go down.
Yeah, so there is actually a kill and a bomb plant.
Yeah. I mean, Toxic just sort of gave them the sight.
How charitable of them. Are they going to continue to be charitable? Lagamonster getting himself a pretty free kill on Raptor. And it's save time. Toxic now in the position to get out. So are we seeing two teams here that have no CT side to speak of? It almost seems like it at this stage.
Like, that hole just confuses me of Toxic. Like, what is that?
That was the we don't want to lose hold, so we'll sit really far back and hope for the best. Oh, there's a kill coming in at least, bring it back to...
He actually hit his teammate.
Wow, yo, you're right. He hit him through the wall there as well on the wooden wall by the swings. That's some crazy stuff. 12-7, Toxic with the overwhelming lead, and it's looking slightly less overwhelming now that they're on the CT side. Again, we did see them win the first half on cash, 10-5, and then lose the map. So,
yeah, picking up only one round on the CT side.
Yeah, so let's see if they've got a little bit more here to work with. Duplicate going aggressive there.
Could be punished. Yeah, he's got the angle, which does mean that it's very, very difficult for...
What? Oh my word, come on. That was...
Should have been very difficult for Orzek, apparently not. Raftu though, trading things back with the best gun in the game, and Orzek just getting fed another kill, or very close to it, as Steffa 2K wanders into his crosshair.
Indeed, 4v4 situation, Steffa 2K, he's on 25 HP, so he's not going to be feeling that healthy. He's got a bit of a cough. Maybe a limp too after taking those bullets. Let's see, 12-7 here. Still with 55 seconds left. Felix popping out of smoke. I'm assuming that's to try to fake something towards A, if I recall that smoke correctly. Towards bathrooms, in fact. So, not really causing any real rotation. It actually looks like they're... Oh!
No! Why would that smoke give away that you're going A? If you're going to smoke that area off, I mean, surely you'd be going B as Orzek and friends push through?
Yeah, indeed. That's actually where I was going with that, but... Anyway. 12-7 will be 12-8. They're going to have to save. There's nothing they can do yet.
Yeah. Absolutely nothing. I mean, Salva's got... well, it's not quite a potato gun, but it's close. certainly does a lot more damage.
Indeed. Primordial now on T side seemingly much more comfortable, and Toxic have been completely uncomfortable on CT side. Had some faith in them after winning 12 in that first half, but geez, that faith is being eroded rapidly here in this half.
It's just so weird to see two teams with non-existent CTRs.
Yeah, it is really weird. It's there's definitely not a precedent for it. You know, usually a team's still going to get a few at least, but so far they're finding nothing. And in Rafto on 20 kills, he was dominant in the first half. Hasn't really done too much here. And you look at Primordial's team overall. Most of those players were in single digits in the last half. Now they're suddenly coming into their own. That they're on the D side. Is it just the Toxic CT side is that bad?
I mean, who knows? Certainly doesn't give a very good look these days.
So we've covered ClickTech quite a bit in the... Oh, there we go. And as I blinked and turned away, Blink gets himself a kill on Felix. But ClickTech actually today managing to get a pretty big result outside of SEC, so showing that they might actually be a pretty good team. So Orzek going in, yeah, he's going to get the first entry. He seems to be aware of the player towards Toxic as well, but decides to back out and rather keep his life, which is a good choice. You know, when you bring it back to a 4v4, it's probably best not to keep pushing. But as I was saying about ClickTech, the Croatian org, of course, we've covered them a bunch. I also covered them with Hayes the other day, and they are, of course, at the top of the log with 2 wins so far. They actually beat Kingwin in the minor qualifier.
Taz new.
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
Not too shabby, actually. Not too shabby at all.
Ooh.
And Blink gonna get another easy kill there. That'll be Orzek brought low. And no third time lucky for him, unfortunately. And that is the A site completely down, although there is a player in the...
What? Raftu,
Okay.
This is huge. What? That spray control from Raftu, he rounds it out. Wow. That was some sting in the tail there. They just walked right past him.
I'd love to know how he got into that position, because I saw him in the bathrooms, but why would you not clear out the bathrooms in that circumstance? You're hitting the A side, yeah, you got a kill on long, but I mean, surely you clear out that area.
One would think. I guess not. That's might be the lifeline that Toxic needed here, because they looked like they didn't have anything so far on CT. So they do finally get around. Let's see if they can continue that. I think Primordial's still got plenty of money in the bank as well, so they're not going to be necessarily too worried. The only issue, of course, is that they're 5 rounds behind.
Yeah, and that round might very well have given Toxic the kind of, I wouldn't say pep up, but certainly just a bit of belief that they can actually win rounds here. Cusco, though, able to get a kill through the wall on Sava.
Yep, Sava out of the equation, and Duplicate not able to trade it off. Oof, the nades coming in. Cusco low now.
Bless you.
I didn't mute the stream microphone, so they wouldn't have heard that. Thanks for drawing attention to it, Prof.
It's a pleasure. Bless you and all who died in the spray. We saw a massively cool spray from Rafting last one. Is this a triple peak? Triple boost? No, double boost. Oh, it's a double boost on the dustbin. I was so confused there. As Blink will drop the flash to help out his B side. Duplicate will be so thankful for that, because that gives him an easy kill onto Cusco. But the actual hit comes through at A. Raftu did so well in the last round. Can he do as well on this one? Orzek is going to kill Duplicate, though. Blink is only able to trade out for one. Raftu, the silent assassin, is going to sneak in. He's going to get the kill and the second. 2 rounds in a row that Raftu is the dagger in Primordial's back.
Well, that would be that, but it's individual players that are saving them at the moment. It's not been the team effort at all. And Stefan knows exactly where Orzek is, and he's not willing to peek 1 iota. 25 kills on Raftu. Great performance so far. But again, that doesn't make for pretty reading. Only 2 on CT side. They're in the position to win this game, but almost not sure they deserve it after a CT side like this.
Yeah, it's not a great CT side. Primordial will be able to buy. It's not great in terms of the utility for Orzek. The rest of them looking pretty healthy, though. Either way, Primordial. This should almost certainly be their last chance on the map, the series, and the half, if they don't win at the very least. Raftu with another lovely kill. Is he going to get a second? He has just decided that he is taking full control of this map. He's going to get himself 2, give his team a massive advantage going into the final minute of this second half of second map.
Nice nade there from Duplicate. He knows all the nades on B, it would seem. They're standing there on the railing, or whatever you call it. Gets him 1 kill, but then he gets dropped rather smartly from Lagermonster. And these AKs are still super dangerous. 3v2 situation. Duplicate showing a propensity for throwing nades, not so much for killing other people. So let's see if that's potentially getting found out. The HP here is so low, though.
Do they check the... No, they don't.
Oh, no. Well, Cusco is going to have to work miracles here. Tries to work the first, in fact, but gets caught on the reload. They know exactly where he is. He's got time, but he does not have health. And his health is failing him after taking those bullets, unfortunately. 15-8. Toxic now poised to take it to a third map after what was, well, looking like a big comeback from Primordial.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't really know if either of these teams should be proud of this performance. Toxic finally pulling it through at the end here, but losing a ton of rounds on their CT side against Primordial. I mean, Primordial's looked good, but you do kind of wonder how that's going to go on. Blink taking fights, takes a bit of damage, but returns some.
Turnfire rattling off there from Duplicate. Primordial in the situation now with a less than stellar buyer that they're probably not going to win this round. They shouldn't anyway, but it's still possible when the trades are coming in. There's Orzik with the trade finally. Raftu been the danger man and actually goes down, so this might suddenly have turned into possible. And Lagermonster on the angle, he caught them off completely, but he doesn't get the kills, and the kills are favoring the CTs now. Toxic in a really good position to close this out unless Quaker and Cusco can do something. And who would you want other than Cusco for Primordial? He's been so good for them tonight.
That he has, especially on the side as well. Doesn't really have the weaponry though, and that might be the real problem for Primordial here. Cusco at Galil's not going to be doing enough damage to kill these players at range. Takes a bit of damage. And they're pushing up slowly. They don't actually have control of the bomb, and that is another problem for them. 30 seconds left. Toxic knows that they just have to burn time here. Duplicate needs to not overplay his hand. Sava, though, gives him the biggest helping. And as Quaker goes down, Sava completes the kill, and that'll be the second map to Toxic. 16-8.
Second map down, and we will be going to a third. What is the third? I can't remember. Is it Nuke?
It is Nuke, indeed.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Observer. Do apologize for that one. But that's what the teams have gone with. So, again, it just seems to be a game of T sides here. Finally, a CT side closing a game out. But overall, it's been kind of crazy. In the meantime, it looks like we are going to break. We'll be back in a little bit. Stick around.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Well, it does seem as if we are back. This is ESL SEC Season 7, game day number 3, Primordial versus Toxic, and we are just about ready to go on Nuke. 1 all on the map scores, and probably 0 all on the CT side scores in general, because CT sides have been bad.
I was just saying, we're still looking for a CT side. I haven't found one as yet. I mean, this is the most CT-sided map in the pool, so surely they should be able to get. They should be able to win a half on CT here.
One would hope, but I guess we shall see. So far, I mean, the standout players, Raftu's been really good for Toxic overall. He's been good across both maps. On the other side, Cusco looked utterly amazing on Cash, and then had his moments on Overpass, but not nearly as much. So that could have been possibly a little bit of the difference there, but overall, again, CT sides have been lacking. T sides have looked pretty good, but yeah, I mean, double AWP seems to be what both of these teams like to do. I've yet to see a double AWP even work out for them, so it's kind of a different standard of CS what we've seen out of ClickTech so far, who've been really good in the championship. I'd say overall they also didn't have much in the way of CT sides in the qualifier, but since it's actually moved over to the actual championship, they've shored up substantially. And of course, in the minor qualifier today, they beat Taz's Kingwin.
Yeah, so what trending is the side of ClickTech? I don't know. Primordial, Toxic, I don't know if they're trending upward at the moment. They look like they're going to have halves. I just don't know if they can string a full game together, which is the real worry here for them.
Yeah, that is what we're going to have to see, of course. And on a map like Nuke, you need to know what you're doing on the CT side. I mean, it is CT sided, but you need to know how to play it. So I don't know. Do these teams play it or not? I don't think we've casted a Nuke yet in SEC that I know of.
I don't think we have. I don't believe so, no.
Ah. Well, in the meantime, if you would like to win something nice for yourself, potentially type !giveaway in chat, and the bot will tell you where you can enter the giveaway to win one of 5 €100 vouchers for the ESL shop, where you could buy yourself something nice. And thanks to the sponsors, Need for Seat as well. I don't need a seat, mine's pretty nice, but if I did need a seat, I'd definitely get a Maxnomic.
As would I. Very comfy seats. I have this rather sad, uncomfortable one.
Oh my word. Okay, well, Need for Seat, help us out, guys. And we would also be feeling pretty helped out if these teams would get going. Come on, play, guys. I heard all the ready up signs coming through. It's probably just one player who hasn't readied up yet, so hopefully they'll get going with the knife round pretty soon. So what do we need to see from these teams aside from a CT side, or is that really what we need to see from these teams?
I mean, I suppose maybe a little bit more action. T sides have looked fantastically aggressive. The CT sides are just very, very
passive.
Yeah, milk a toast. Just sort of sit in a site, wait for them to walk in and just try win duels at that point. It's just like there's no information plays. There's no. I mean, the one round that I can remember of an information play was that round where Raftu somehow got left behind in bathrooms, walked up and got 3 kills with a fantastic spray on Primordial.
Probably the round that broke the game, in fact, on map 2.
But I mean, outside of that, can you really think of any like ultra aggressive play that's that consistently? Well, I wouldn't say consistently. Let's say, can you think of any string of rounds where either team has pushed and found lots of information and been able to give his
that
team
information across to the
team, just pass that information over to his team so that they could actually make an earlier rotate or something. It hasn't appeared to be the case. They just sit on site, win duels. Cool, we won the round. Don't win duels. Right, we haven't won the round. It's just it's an archaic style of play. Let's put it that way.
It does seem so, yes. Are you pretty wrecked, Prof? You did spend the whole day casting Metal State Valkyrie, and now you're doing this. You must be pretty wrecked.
Still kind of awake. The Valkyrie just ended. I saw that the girls of Bravado won a hard 4-3 map series. 2-1 at the end.
Okay. They're having a hard fight here in spawn, basically about who knows what. We're waiting for them to ready up still, so we'll get going. Now, there are some changes on the map, of course, that we can maybe mention. The changes to the removal of Toxic. Of course, Toxic got the team here, but the actual Toxic area with the double doors and the barrels that was in B side, it's gone now. And then the vents have been moved, so you can't just sort of dive straight down the vents and go straight onto the B side. They both vents now lead into the halls, the back halls, basically. So that's probably going to change things a bit.
It is going to change things, but I mean, who does it change things for? Does it make it more T-sided, more CT-sided? That's the question. Because, I mean, the CTs didn't really use the Toxic area. But at the same time, the Toxic area was sort of like ridiculously overpowered. It was far too easy to just have a guy in there and be almost impossible to, to root him out.
Yeah, that's true. It was a nice post-plant situation. It's never really used by the CTs on side entry, of course. But vent side of it, I guess that's an interesting one, because we were talking about it the other day. If you dive on the vents from T side, you can't go straight into the site anymore. If you the CTs on the rotate as well, it's potentially dangerous for you coming down there on a retake attempt, because you again can't catch anybody off through the vents. You kind of in the back halls towards what's it called, radio room. So yeah, it's I'm not so sure that this is going to who this is going to benefit, but it's certainly going to change things a little bit, particularly around rotates.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. For me personally, it feels like they're trying to do it to help out the Ts, but at the same time it makes it stronger for the CTs in certain ways. Because it buys the CTs extra time to rotate into the site.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out which way it's going. Let's just see if there's maybe a technical issue or something. I'll just check with the admins. Apparently one player is having an issue, so okay, there we go. They're finally ready. So hopefully on the Go TV feed that will catch up any second and we'll be ready to go. Because, yeah, we've been ready to go for a while, but seemingly not the team. So hopefully whoever the player is that was having the issue is no longer having the issue. So other than that, I mean, the AWPs overall from that we've seen on CT side have been relatively ineffective. Do you think they're going to continue with the double AWPs both sides on CT? And does it make sense on a map like this, and unless one of them is ramp?
I mean, the problem is the way ramp tends to be played is that like you won't permanently AWP there. So double AWPs, and maybe you take the chance, but where would you send the second AWP on the rounds if you're not going ramp?
I don't see Nuke as a double AWP map at all, and both of these teams seem hell-bent on double AWPs.
It's not. To be fair, Nuke isn't even really an AWP map.
No, it isn't.
Shape or form. Like some CT AWPers can get by, but I mean, Device seems to be the most effective. Generally, most CT AWPers like Kenny S and Guardian have. I mean, this has been their graveyard. They haven't been able to get anything done on these maps. T-AWP, it's even worse because you've got about 500 different angles to go and check. I mean, maybe they've made it so that outside is slightly easier for both sides of AWPers, but still, it's a nightmare map to consistently do well as an AWPer and to have a strong impact. So I can't see double AWPs coming out. Maybe these teams do feel like double AWPs could be worth it, but to me, double AWPing is really just a white elephant. You're not going to get anything done with that.
Well, I pray to Lord Gaben most fervently that we don't see double AWPs come out, but I guess you never know. I guess the question for the teams now is you win the knife round, do you necessarily want to stay CT considering it's gone so bad for you pretty much the entire game, no matter which team?
I mean, it is extremely strong CT map, so maybe they're just banking on side bias helping them out. But that seems like hoping against hope more than anything else.
Yeah, well, Primordial look like they are starting on that CT side. This is ESL SEC Season 7, Southeast Europe Championship, the longest running championship in the region. Game day number 3, ClickTech at the top of the log, and somebody yet to join them. Even if one of these teams win this, because of course one of them has to win it, they still can't catch ClickTech just yet, but they're making a good step in that direction. Primordial on that CT side, which is favored, and that's going to help out. Well, I was going to say it's going to help them out, but the T's coming to the good here. Just spot the head, can Felix, and he still gets the kill somehow. Bringing it into, I was going to say 3v3, 3v2 retake scenario now, and everybody is just dying here. Cusco so good, dropping everybody. 3k for him, double kill for Felix. And I didn't even get to hand over to you. It happened too quick.
Yeah, I mean, I've missed half the damn round. And dear Lord. It happened.
It happened. Primordial. Okay, so is that the first time we've seen a CT side actually win the pistol?
That is the first CT we have seen.
Wow. Okay, so there we go. 1-0, and of course the teams are level at 1 apiece in terms of maps. So this is the particular map that is going to decide who wins the series and who gets themselves the 4 points. I think it is for the championship. Of course, the overall championship for 2,500 euros. Which is a nice chunk of change. I want to win that. I'm going to join the team.
I can imagine quite a few players want to win that. Waker, he certainly wants to win it with shots like that, taking Raftu's head clean off. Toxic, it is a 4 versus 4, obviously. Duplicate getting a rather rare kill for him. As
oh my word, Blink.
Waker continues to be precision with that scout.
Just thinking there, Blink, you needed to move, mate. He's just getting peppered with the scout, and he stayed where he was. And he ate it. And so did Steffa there. Orzek coming and getting the double kill. Quake also got himself the double, in fact, with the scout. So, good start here for Primordial. Toxic will be looking, of course, for the 4th round by one would assume. Unless they... Oh, they did actually go. So...
Got the bomb plant in the first, so...
I just thought they spent too much in their 2nd round, but okay. I'm glad their maths is better than mine.
But is their play better than yours is the question.
Oh,
I'd say yes.
Yeah, you're probably right. Sava eating a bit of a nade there. Blink, however, dishing it out. Orzek taking a headshot, and Steffa also getting Quaker. That is a really good start for them in this round.
That is indeed a lovely start for them. Primordial, sort of at very, very underpowered. They are going to get the first kill on the A side. That'll be Steffa. With another lovely shot onto Lager Monster. Leaves only Felix and Cusco, and at this stage, I'd almost be calling save time. Blink returns the favor from a couple of rounds ago. This time it's on Cusco, who gets necked in the face.
Yes, indeed. So very easy round here for Toxic so far. Primordial falling apart, not getting a single kill, duplicating the efforts of his teammates there, and also finding himself a headshot. And all of a sudden, things turned on its head somewhat. Primordial's economy not that good after all, despite winning those rounds. Of course, I think the first round came down to a clutch, so just about. So
No, first round was a 3 players alive, but it was on pistols. They just didn't farm very well in the next round.
Oh yes, I'm thinking about the other way around. It was a 3v2, and then they won the 3v2.
Yes. So a clutch of sorts, but not one
The
that was
wrong way
close
around.
by any means. Yeah.
So on the save, yeah.
Toxic trying to take control of outside. They've only got one player really out there, the other one on top of Marshmallow. As they just expect some kind of aggression out of Primordial. Now that, as we've said, hasn't been a very common thing from either of these CT sides.
Not at all Blink on the hunt now, because they do know where this player is. And ooh, I thought he'd get it. Doesn't get it, in fact, but still facing a very weakened set of opponents. Only 2 sets of armor out there. They've got the CZs, which of course can do the damage, as we know. But can they do the damage lacking in armor? Orzek seems to think so. He gets his first. Cusco could potentially catch a player going down secret here as well if they're not careful. There's the wrap on the bomb site from a ramp here, but I don't think is the bomb still outside?
The bomb is outside lobby. It's actually going to play into Toxic's hands because Primordial isn't certain where anything is. So they have to force the situation and actually run into rather aggressive areas. And what that means is that Toxic will also run into Primordial, who've gotten themselves 2 rifles on players with armor.
That could actually be a potential win for them here if they can get through that smoke. The smoke is denying them entry into the site, though, and well, they're going to have to wait this out, and that might just be a long enough wait that the retake is no longer worth it. And I think they're realizing that now. Yeah,
I mean, could very well just hang around, look for picks, or exit frags, do some huge damage. Lager Monster does go down, and Toxic will take the safest course of action, even though they aren't aware of that. Looks like they're actually going to lose 2 players here. Orzek is not going to get draft to somehow the entry frag of Toxic reacting just that little bit faster.
Jeez, that was a bit of a mistake there. He probably needed to get it, but he didn't. They'll still buy in this round, of course. Will be an AWP in the hands of Felix. Primordial 2, Toxic 2. So we're level, and it's probably the most even it's been in a first half in this game so far, because it's always just been one-way traffic, and then the same in the second half. So let's see if we can see the trend being bucked here somewhat. Blink going for that early AWP pick.
Oh. And Felix gonna walk directly into him.
Makes it easy, so helps out. A nice bit of parkour there also to catch the door in the landing, otherwise you'll tend to take some damage jumping off there. So he knows what he's doing clearly. And oh, the head being spotted. That nade.
Cusco sends a package. Lovely damage there.
He just delivered a package the same as FedEx do. They just throw it everywhere.
Well, duplicate's going to go down there to Orzek. I mean, I was having this debate the other day with G-Max as Steffa the kill onto Lagmas. It's just a lot of players just waiting for others to move out of position. But I was having this debate with G-Max the other day about Amazon, where they're using drones to come deliver products.
Yeah, I heard that debate.
G-Max thought they'd fly across the ocean, which is
no
interesting. I was just like, that doesn't seem reasonable.
I don't think an electric drone has the power to fly across the Atlantic, but hey, they're trying to bridge the gap here as Cusco and Cone. He's getting the kills, in fact. It's definitely the last man left alive, but time is a waste, and actually they've smoked the wrong position. Oh my word, I was just going to say, have they fluffed it? But they have not, in fact. They've done the right thing, despite the smoke being incorrect in the first place. Cusco gets the triple kill. He continues his form, yeah.
That he does. Primordial finally taking back that lead 3-2. So CT side not completely falling apart, but Money not looking extraordinarily healthy, especially in light of what Toxic is able to bring out this round. So Primordial will need to make absolutely certain that they get the W in this round. Toxic at this stage. Again, aggression outside, trying to do as much as they can. Just taking control of the outside, forcing Primordial to rotate there, and then maybe splitting a site.
Very passive out of the CT so far, but maybe Quaker and Co going to take this engagement. There's the Tracers coming through, and that's going to give Quaker what he needs to actually get some return fire on Steffa, and Steffa has been dropped really low. The nade just gives him a little tickle there. 32 HP. It's not going to be feeling too helpful.
No, it's not. Ozek gets aggressive. He's going to push through the smoke and find himself the bomb as well. Sava now, next person off the rank. Can he do anything here? He's going to get aggressive. Never mind. Ozek getting flashed. And once again, that's 2 bombs dropped in the same round. Duplicate and friends charge in through the lows area. Blink now is going to be trying his luck. Does he get it right? He's going to spot Ozek, and that is a fantastically fast shot, taking Ozek's head. And that will be the entry here. Does Primordial control that squeaky door? They don't. Could come back to bite them at the moment. It's not going to this time. Blink sets up along with Raf2 and Duplicate.
Nice and easy does it, and of course I was going to say the new vents might potentially keep the CTs out, but they don't. Reply is there though from the AWP. Lager Monster knows where he is and he gets him. Lager Monster versus Raf2 in the 1v1 now. He does have a kit, but he's not aware of the position from Raf2, and smart positioning there out of the Bulgarian player will get the kill. 3-all, and this has been back and forth so far.
Back and forth indeed, but it might split in the favor of Toxic. Primordial has no money in this round. Critical round for them to lose, and they're going to force up as best they can, but you do wonder, given how slow Toxic has been playing, how long it's going to take for them to bleed out that utility and then just hit a site there. Never mind, they're going to go fast here. At the very least, open up a door quickly as Duplicate gets the kill on Kuska outside, and that is a big kill to get in the context of the round.
Apologies, we are dropping frames again, guys. Unfortunately, we're having some restream server issues tonight, so not a lot we can do about it. It tends to sort itself out, so I do apologize for a little bit. There might be some buffering, and then it'll be back to normal. Meanwhile, back to normal is Steffa there getting himself Orzik. 5v3 situation, they should have this.
That they should. Toxic has focused heavily on the A site, and it's been good to them. Lager Monster will get the kill. He'll get the second as well with the help of Felix. Finally, Raf2 brings things back into some level of sanity, but he's very, very low on HP, as is Duplicate here. They're going to go down to the B side, but that's directly into Felix's hands. Duplicate's able to get the kill here, and it's all onto the player who has not had the greatest of nights in the colors of Toxic, to be fair. He's got himself 2 kills in the round. Can he add a third as well as this clutch? Would be quite the round to win for his team here.
Oh no, he switches weapons at the wrong moment there. Got wrecked by that. Quaker gets the kill, and he'll get the defuse as well. He's got plenty of time available for this. And that was a round that Toxic should not, under any circumstances, have lost, considering the equipment advantage they had. Diving down the vents was not the greatest idea.
I just don't know why Duplicate weapon swapped and then walked around the corner while he was still in the process of taking his weapon out.
I would ask myself the same thing, because I do that.
Yeah, yes you do. You really do.
Don't you know it? So 4-3 here. And, well, Primordial, they are in the lead, but on a map that is generally heavily CT favor, that's not quite the lead that you'd want. Ozek receiving some unwanted guests, and including an unwanted headshot there. Sight in control here for the T side. As the nades pop down, they should get the plant.
Molly just burning the players out of heaven, and they'll be forced to retake through the mouth, which at the moment is smoked off. They can't really do a whole lot of anything. Toxic, that speedy play through the uppers, well, through the hut and the door, means that Primordial largely shut out, although they do have quite a bit of utility to get them in here, and they've got AWPs as well to help them out. The Molly, though, is going to shut things down for another 7 seconds. Can Felix do anything? No, he can't. Raf2 once again continues his reign of terror in these games tonight and picks up another triple kill.
Seems to be a speciality with those triple kills. He's top fragger here, but not by the same margin we've seen on some of the other maps. 4-on-4 here in terms of the scoreboard. And I think it should be 5-4 from Toxic, but the last time we said that, Primordial with a limited buy were able to knock Toxic over.
But they were. And hopefully Toxic has learned from their error. It's apparently what memories are for, is to be mined for any potential mistakes and then forgotten once those mistakes have been learned and adapted to. Raptu, though, is not allowing Primordial any time to learn as he reaps them like ripe wheat.
Indeed he does, and walking through the smoke there, that's not going to help Felix's cause whatsoever. Where are they crunching on it? Looks like they're pushing towards this A site, and maybe Lager Monster might find himself a gun. No, he finds himself a sniper bullet instead. Cusco, the last man left alive here, and he's not going to have much say in this one, wouldn't think.
No, currently hanging around at the ramp area, might push up towards the spot known as Heaven, but he's no angel at this point. As you can clearly see, he's going to catch Raftu. Demon ascending into Heaven. He's going to somehow stick his head through a fire and not take any damage. CSGO things, I guess.
I guess so, but not going to matter much in the end. Duplicate gets him 5-4. Toxic in the lead here, and it will be double save out of Primordial. That's what we were expecting. So 6-4. Actually, 6 on T side of Nuke is actually pretty good, but again, we got to put that in the context of what we've seen to be pretty lackluster CT sides from both of these teams tonight.
Anemic, I think, is a word.
Yep, there was a great band called 3 Weeks Anemic back in the day.
No, that's clearly not one.
It's a great name, at least. But there's Blink getting himself a kill. And there shouldn't be too much more in the way of kills coming the way of Primordial at all. Their number is gotten, and down they go. Quaker did get one at least there, but not much damage done to Toxic's economy. We'll see the buy for Primordial, but will it be a good buy? I do... No AWP. So, I guess it's as good as they can hope for, but utility's not really their strong suit right now.
No, it's not. Quaker does get that scout, which he got 2 kills on the last time he had in his hands, so certainly not a player to be underestimated on this weapon. Toxic, though, looks like they're going to be trying an uppers rush, and, well, there's an uppers rush, and then there's just a feed, which is kind of what they're attempting right now, and succeeding at quite largely.
Well done, guys. Look at that. Salva in the clutch, but he's going to get cut off here, and his head gets cut off by Cusco, in fact. So 5-6. Within one are the Greeks to the Bulgarians of Toxic. Primordial not able to recover an AWP or anything like that. Oh, there we go. Actually, it comes out. I thought they hadn't picked it up, in fact. So, wrong again.
It's been... What's going on?
They're doing some weapon juggling there of note in spawn.
Okay, so Cusco's got the AWP on ramp. Quake is still outside of the scout.
That's interesting. We haven't seen Cusco on a scoped rifle so far that I know of. Meanwhile, Ozek getting wrecked and Cusco getting wrecked as well. That might be why he doesn't AWP.
Quite likely. I mean, he just got out-dueled by an AK. That's an interesting one. And, yeah, one tapped. After missing the shot through the wall. Either way. Primordial's travails continue as Steffa 2K keeps knocking those nails into the coffin of the CT side of Primordial. Felix, the last remaining player, full stack of utility, which is pretty odd at 1 minute into the round from CT on Nuke, but at this point, it's largely expected, I would say.
Don't need no nades when you're dead, I guess. Nobody dying there for Toxic at all. Looking on for the half win here. Primordial had some good rounds here on CT so far, but it's seemed to change around since we last saw them win around. It's been a while.
It has been a while. I mean, it's a better fight, let's be honest, at this stage than any previous CT side has been. Still, that is in the context of some fairly horrendous CT offenses, as Toxic setting themselves up for what could be a very dominant win here on Nuke, but I mean, it must be said that neither team has had great CT sides at all tonight, so this could just well be a massive bait.
It could be. We've seen Toxic when they won the first games T side. Oh, she's just reaping them there. But they won the first map, T side 10-5, and then we had 12-3 on the next one. And they managed to lose
They lost
the first one. And
they lost the first one, getting one CT round.
Yeah, I know, it was crazy. But then you looked at Overpass as well. Aside from 2 hero rounds out of RAF2, they might have lost that too, because Primordial on T side were on the major comeback.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, they only gave up 5 rounds on CT, but it was like the manner of how they gave up those rounds, which is like really dire.
exactly. So it really didn't look like things were going to work for them at all, and it was individual plays that saved them as opposed to any sort of CT coordination. So, still, as you say, this could be a massive bait. We got no way of knowing, of course. I don't know how much these teams necessarily play this map. Was it getting one, but getting traded off immediately by Sava, and that angle there through vents might catch them off, and well, they're catching off the CTs rather well. And Quaker, that was ill-advised.
Well, so is that. Lagermonster able to sneak through that squeaky door and get a kill. He's going to upgrade to a better weaponry now. And it's 3 versus 2 on this new B site of Nuke. Felix, though, doesn't really have the greatest weapon. He's going to spot the first player. Does he win the fight? He somehow does against RAF2, who has been a monster all night. So that is a huge obstacle out of the way of Felix, who is now back onto his preferred AWP. Is he aware of the fact that Blink is holding that squeaky door with the AWP? Blink might very well step into the crosshair. He's actually going to get the timing perfectly right onto Felix. Just takes a wild shot this time and is able to hit Lagermonster at range with a CZ. $500 guns apparently are the best thing in this game.
Apparently so. 9-5, and it could very well be 10-5, which would be another repeat of what we've seen before. So let's see. Primordial don't have a great buy here at all, and Kuzco with a very late buy call. In fact, still has 2,400 in the bank and hasn't bought nades. Don't get it.
I don't know.
Star players don't need nades. That's what I heard from watching Thorin's episode about support players, where they had Stiko and NBK and Zipnix.
Do they say star players don't need nades or star players don't buy nades?
It's a very sarcastic, they don't buy nades. But anyway, couldn't buy a headshot there before being taken down. But 4v3 situation, and there's 2 UMPs alive. They need to get up close to make those effective. And there are plenty of opportunities for that sort of thing at Nuke, but they're definitely not outside.
No, and not at that range either, as Felix learns pretty quickly. And just like that, Toxic
10-5.
picks up 10 rounds on the T side. This, of course, is an insanely good T side, but only if you have a competent CT side, which
We're
must
not
be
so sure of.
mentioned. We're not so certain.
Not at all. Let's see what
So
happens.
Toxic
here.
is massively favored to win this map. They are insanely favored to win this map.
We have said this before.
But yeah, that is
He's
based
though.
on.
Look at that. I mean, this is a player who couldn't hit double digits on the previous map, so now he's top fragging.
Yeah, playing damn well. I mean, outperforming RAF2, which must be saying is quite something.
Big fight going on outside, of course, this is the SEC Season 7. And it is the pistol round here on the final map on group stage day 3. And there's Rafter getting a kill on Felix. It looked like Felix might actually have the better of that. Up he goes. Wozek gets one before being traded. That was a bit of an awkward engagement.
I'd love to know how the hell he went up that ladder fast enough that he could catch a player and get a kill. Either way, they're starting to bleed players out now as RAF2 pushed out through that through the mouth area, and he's gotten one, and Quaker will go down as the last one. So Toxic wins the CT pistol. So they haven't been able to win a T pistol at all, and now all of a sudden,
there you go.
CT
So,
pistols are the order of the day.
seems like it. So 11-5, yeah. Toxic extends the lead ever so slightly, just a smidge. The buy from Primordial, objectively dangerous with all those deagles around.
Unfortunately, he got a hit. This is, Kuzco learns pretty well. Takes a bit of damage there from that scout. Sava juggling himself backwards and forwards. He's going to spot the players outside. Oh, lovely shot there. Quaker is a dangerous player with that scout. But Lagermonster now got that CZ. They needed a little bit of help there. Sava is going to go down. That's a 3 versus 4 at the moment. Toxic has lost Raf2 as well. This could very well be
Ooh.
a turnaround as they lose yet another Orzek with a lovely shot. Blink, one of the last two remaining players. He's going to need to try to do as much as he can. Steph at 2k. Looks like he's holding
Oh
uppers.
no.
Oh,
No. Communication breakdown there.
save time, I guess.
Headshots his teammate. Okay, so as you say, that's probably time to stop. Never good if the round is clinched by your teammate shooting you in the head. So it doesn't kill him, but does enough damage that that's going to dissuade them from going for the retake, one would think. Despite the fact that there are two low players here for Primordial, it's just not going to work out. That being said, Steph is still going for it now. Surely he's been convinced of the error of his ways.
Yeah, hopefully.
Getting out of dodge. So it should be 6-11 here. That's got to feel good for Primordial, considering I don't think they would have necessarily expected to win this by. Oh, a very nice headshot there. 9 HP and still gets himself an easy one.
Need to be careful. They could be going down. Steffa does go down. Blink. Low HP. Bit of a nade to root him out there, so they'll leave him to be.
Leaving him be indeed. Looking at the scoreboard, Raftu there at the top of the moment, 16 and 9. But he's getting some good support from his teammates. On the other side, it's Orzek and Lagermonster on double digits right now. Cusco is the guy that you'd expect, though, to be carrying the team, and he hasn't quite done that yet, on this map anyway.
No, he hasn't. Quake has been pretty solid. Best team also. And aggression from Toxic. Not going to work out this time.
Wreckage. That was so quick, we didn't even get to see it, unfortunately. Keeping 4 alive as well. And talking about 4 drawing within 4 here. So 11-7. Primordial making it close, and it will be double save, of course, for Toxic. That's what's going to happen if you force buy and you lose it. So that's also... Well, Blink has actually got a fair bit of money saved, so I'm assuming he's going to be the one to buy the AWP.
He might buy it for Sava. Oh, nades are landing. Artillery strikes.
Oh,
This is an interesting stack in the outside garage area. They will lose a player, Sava getting a lovely long-range headshot there with that USP. And, I mean, about the only highlight for Sick at the moment in this round.
And not too much to be happy about, yeah. And as I said that, P2K lands a Harbinger shot there, just taking him down. He gets himself a nice free AK for his efforts. Does look like we're dropping packets again. Sorry. Well, not packets, actually, frames. That implies line issues. It's actually not line issues, it's server issues. But we did have a bit of buffering. It looks to be back again. Let's hope it stays around. I think he maybe gave them the slip here. And oh, as I said that, Orzek coming out from an angle that I had not considered. And neither had the player with the AK either. So not going to help out his effort. And again, CT side. What, CT side?
Yeah, I mean, lost on the second pistol. Sorry. Lost on the anti-eco after winning the pistol.
Yep, got ecoed,
And
so...
Yeah.
Orzek and Co looking for some space here on the outside, and they're not finding anything just yet. Hidden behind the smokes, of course, and Blink on the angle. Very nice angle from him to actually go for as well. He got punished on that angle earlier in the first half and returns the favor rather nicely.
Yeah, and perfect start for his team as well. Sava's going to spot the AWPer Quaker and just remove his feet from underneath him. Duplicate. He's had a great map, to be fair, and continues to do so. Does huge amounts of damage. With a very quick rotation. 3 players in the ramp area and towards B. Sava getting another lovely shot. He's just going to disappear now and be able to duplicate in the observation room.
All he can do is watch at this stage is Cusco, because he's in a 1v5. He needs to ace here. We saw an ace out of him on the first map, but will we see anything even similar here? And of course that was an eco ace, so You can't really rightly say that's going to happen. He's going to get nothing, in fact. Duplicate, man who struggled so much on the previous two maps, he is absolutely on fire on this one.
That he is. Blink, Raftu, and Duplicate 17, 16, and 17. Really the powerhouses of Toxic. Primordial, I mean, is quite disappointing. T Quaker has largely gone silent after an early start that did pretty well.
Walks in on the angle to Blink, and that's going to be the equalizer, bringing it back to a 4-4. That helps Toxic a little bit, but still with the defense split like this, the T's do have a bit more space.
That they do. Not the easiest CT map well to play, even though it does have a heavily favored CT. And Toxic at the moment forced to move Sava outside. And M4 is not really the kind of weapon you want at these ranges. I mean, even though it is a pretty solid weapon, it's not going to be doing as much damage as you'd hoped at that range.
Like with the pre-fires there, aware of the angle, and I like the way they're holding outside at the moment. Blink, again getting himself a kill. Sava goes down, but there's Duplicate coming in with a nice spray control, in fact, to get that. And Felix, the last man left alive, he gets himself Duplicate, but that's all he'll get. And that is another round there for the CTs. They're closing in on the win here, 13-8. They, of course, are 1-all on the maps. So Toxic in a really good position to close this out now.
And they have broken the money of Primordial as well. So it should be well favored to win this round. But we've said it a couple of times before for both these teams. And yeah, the ecos have come in. So Primordial flying up. Actually, no armor, so much less likely to win this round. They're all going to run outside. Raf somehow not able to control what was at the early stages a wonderful level of spray, and it's going to cost him his life at this stage though. Primordial 3 versus 4, not a whole lot to speak about, and he'll do some damage, but Quaker is going to have to find 3 kills here. Steph just holds down mouse button 1 and eventually takes his head.
Well, one closer to victory, shall we say. There's 2 until Toxic would potentially take the series. Primordial still got something to say about it. They're on the T side. They've got the AKs. They've got the nades. This might be last chance saloon for them, or it could be the start of a comeback.
Yeah, Toxic has looked decent, to say the least, on the CT side, but it appears as though they're going to get caught out. Sava and Raf2, before we can even get the words out of our mouth, have been removed from the server. Steffa also going down. Blink now, the only one remaining, as Duplicate goes down, and that will be that. 2 low HP players, but Norp doesn't really care about low HP. Blink isn't really in any kind of position to do any damage here, so we'll almost certainly just be looking to save.
Yeah, that'd be the right decision. You don't want to lose a weapon like that. And look at the amount of nades he's got as well. In fact, I mean, he's a walking bank vault right now. He's got everything that's worth anything. Probably be best to hang on to it. They are converging on him though, and oh, Felix spotting him out. I didn't actually initially see him there. I know, of course, he was there on the X-ray, but on the server, that would have been kind of hard to spot.
No, would have been very hard to spot. Toxic does have some money, but it's going to be mostly forced.
Well,
got more than I would have expected there. Raftu, the only one on a CZ. I don't know why Raftu's on a CZ when somebody else could have dropped him a better weapon, but okay.
You think so, but obviously we've seen it in CS so much. You know, don't give the best player the gun, one would think. You should, but no, what do we know? 14-9, yeah? Toxic. Well, there's some space, but I think this is kind of finally poised now for the comeback. If Toxic loses this round, Primordial back in it.
Yeah, they definitely are. Toxic needs to be playing very, very carefully. Blink has to be impactful with the sword. You cannot afford to give a weapon that expensive to a player that's not going to get anything, and he's going to get everything outside. He gets himself a second. He's going to get himself a third. Spotted the player trying. Lager Monster is very, very low HP, so Toxic well favored in this 3 versus 4. Well, 4 versus 2.5, let's be fair.
Let's be fair.
Blink
Blink, he's
how?
rolled. What? Oh my word. That is just some crazy stuff. But there's the spray down coming in from Duplicate. He gets himself a double duplicate, so to speak. And that is 15-9. Toxic now on the map and match. And series point, they get the whole kit and caboodle in this particular round if they close it out.
Yeah, and Primordial, well, they'll be very disappointed with how that round went down. They will be able to still buy up pretty deadly, given that they do have 3 AAKs. The Galil might have been a problem, but they do have a CZ, so Primordial, do they try that fast rush? Thought for a second they might be just rushing up A, but it's not going to be the case. Not very worthwhile breaking that vent, though, considering Toxic probably has better weaponry. Not that it matters. Orzek with a running CZ is going to get the first kill onto Duplicate. Blink, though, at close range is doing as much work as he can. He's going to get 2 kills with that AWP. And all of a sudden, Primordial not in the best of situations. Sava's going to try rotate in, but that's going to cost him. Blink continues to do huge damage. Gets himself a 4th. Can he get the ace? It's all about that right now. And just as I say that, I seem to curse him. Lagermonster gets the kill. But it's a 2 versus 1. Lagermonster has done pretty big work overall on this map for his team, but needs to go even larger this time. He's got 2 kills so far, needs that quad.
Such a tense moment for him. He has no idea where Steph is. Neither does Steph know where he is. He might just walk into his crosshair and actually ducks into it. Such nice awareness from Lagermonster. He wants to keep his team in this, and he's going to be going for that ace site. Should get the bomb plant done. For some reason this round we keep fixating on dead players. I don't know why that is. Finally we are going to switch over, so we will get to see the clutch. Raftu coming through the vents here. And is he sniffing this out? Yeah, he's going to the right place.
He is indeed, and he should be able to win it. He does indeed, and that will be that Toxic finally complete the map 16-9. And I mean, you got to give them props. They figured out the CT side just well enough to pull themselves through.
Just well enough. I mean, it looks sketchy at moments, but still, they did what was required of them. They made it work, and that will be the win for them. So finally on the board in the championship overall. And from here, probably be looking to shore up those CT sides. The T sides have looked impressive enough, that's to be sure. But yeah, the CT part is where they struggled a little bit. But in the meantime, I think that is us. Is it us? Let's just check. Oh,
that is us.
It is us. Okay, so we've got an indication that it is all over for our Saturday night. So we do appreciate you guys joining us. Have yourselves a wonderful evening. And do tune in on Tuesday for more ESL Southeast Europe Championship Season 7, the longest running championship in the region. And I think that is us. Except the music isn't playing. I'm confused now, man.
It should kick in a couple of seconds. But either way, I mean, I think both teams can take heart from their T sides. Definitely need to go and look at the CT sides, though. I don't know, just way too many duels that were fluffed. Utility not expended directly, players not watching correct angles, just no backup. It just felt, it's like basic levels of CT play that just seem to be lacking. The T side certainly are there. I mean, they got the flashes, they got the executes down, but yeah, just basic level CT control just missing.
Yeah, that was unusual to see. I really expected a little bit more out of them from that point of view, but individual player wise, we saw some nice stuff out of Raf2. Duplicate on the last map was particularly good, despite being particularly poor in the rest of the series. Cusco probably the best player for Primordial as well. And on that note, it sounds like we are in the musical outro stage. So that'll be us, guys. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. We'll catch you in the next one.
Cheers.
Take care of my own. Torn down where I stand. You can't suffocate my spirit. 'Cause I'm the king of my own throne. King of my own throne.
from the ashes. Born from the ashes. Born from the ashes. Born from the. You can't suffocate my spirit. 'Cause I'm the king on my own throne, king on my own throne, my own throne. You'll never see me fall. You'll never see me fall. Watch me reign, and I'll say